right, good. This is your boy, Big Dog Sports, aka BD, where sports and politics collide. And today, this episode, it's about the divide between black men over Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And before I start, I would just like to thank anyone and everyone who shows up, supports the show. I appreciate y'all taking your time out to come join me. I'm gonna start bringing people up in a minute, but I need to get through this first little 10 minutes to describe what I feel like is a great, huge divide amongst black men when it comes to these two athletes. So here's what I think, and this is just my own personal opinion. So it goes down like this, right? There's a lot of misogyny going on between the likes and the views and the fandom when it comes to these two women. I'll get into Angel Reese first. Now, as far as Angel Reese, the divide among black men has been very clear, right? It's kind of like a half and half thing. You have some black men that love Angel Reese, that are fans, where you have a lot more black men that can't stand Angel Reese and despise her, think she's trash, right? And I think that goes, hold on, how I put this without being offensive. I think a lot of it has nothing to do with basketball, and a lot of it has to do with their feelings on black women. There you have a lot of black men out here that feel like they're just superior and or better than black women, and they take every chance that they get to humble a black woman, especially a strong black woman, right? So I don't understand. Usually people of a certain race usually go, with their race, not against it. But in Angel Reese, you don't have that. You have a lot of black men that hate on Angel Reese. And in my personal opinion, this is just my personal opinion, I think most of that has nothing to do with basketball. It has everything to do with, misogyny and just wanting to feel superior to a black woman. And I also think that a lot of the black men that don't like Angel Reese have a certain political view. Now, in terms of Caitlin Clark, I think the opposite is true. You have a lot of black men that go to bat for Caitlin Clark. I see you. I'm gonna bring you up in a minute, bro. Just let me get through this real quick. I think in the case of Caitlin Clark, you have a lot of black men that go to bat for her, right? Like you go in these YouTube streets or whatever, you have maybe 15, 20 channels that are just dedicated to Caitlin Clark. And a lot of these channels are ran by black men. And the black men that are running these channels, yeah, some of them watch basketball, right? but a lot of them have never watched no WNBA a day in their lives before Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese ever started playing in the WNBA. But now that they're here and they playing, they go to back real hard for Caitlin Clark. I mean, real hard. And I think a lot of the black man fandom for Caitlin Clark, it has a little bit to do with basketball, but I think it's more of a backlash of wanting to hate a black woman and wanting to be superior to a black woman, to tell this black woman, you need to know your place. You need to know your role. So that's just my personal opinion on that. Like, I think there's a lot of misogyny and a lot of, wanting to humble a black woman. That's why you have all these black men that ride so hard for Caitlin Clark. And yeah, I also think they're aligned politically with a certain person too. I bet any amount of money that a lot of these black men who run Caitlin Clark channels are also Trump supporters. Just like on the flip side, a lot of the black men that run Angel Reese channels are Harris supporters. I think that breakdown is accurate. And it's not about basketball. It's more about how you feel politically about certain things and how you feel about black women as a whole. But that's just my personal opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Now, normally I would run an open panel and will let anybody on. But today, just for today, for this particular stream, I would like to just hear from black men. And the reason why I would like to hear from just black men, because black men is where the divide is. The divide is not amongst white men. The divide isn't amongst Latino men. The divide is among black men. And I would like to get to the bottom of that divide. So the link is at the top of the chat. Anybody who want to come up, the link is at the top of the chat. And Distant, I see you. I know you came and you left. I hope you come back. I just wanted to get through that real quick and share my opinion on how I felt personally about that, because there is a divide, and I would like to know from other black men where that divide starts, where it stems from, and how you feel about the divide, because there's definitely a divide. Tough Guy, what's up, bro? I see y'all. Distant Lights, I see y'all. Tough Guy, I'm gonna do some football stuff later. I know you only interested in the Chiefs. I get it. I got my Jet jersey on today only because I was just looking for something to throw on. Skywalker, I see you. Even though you're not a black man, but you black on the inside. So,
what the hell are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I was talking about the divide amongst black men when it comes to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, because I noticed in these YouTube streets, their channels dedicated specifically to Caitlin Clark, and a lot of them are ran by black men, and their channels dedicated specifically to Angel Reese, and a lot of those are ran by black men too. But the ratio between the Caitlin Clark fandom amongst black men, between the Angel Reese fandom amongst black men, it's like 3-1. So really, I want to hear from black men and why this divide is so great. Like, why so much Caitlin Clark love and so much Angel Reese hate.
I know I'm not a black man, but let me see. Let me.
No, you black on the inside.
Well, let me see if I can say it from the outside looking. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking on the outside then. Since it's black and white, I'm looking from the outside. Let me ask you something. The black dudes that like Caitlin Clark, do they take it to a race thing?
Some of them do. and some of them make it
Okay, let me
political
ask
too,
you:
because
do
I
they
noticed
take
a
it?
lot of it.
Do they bring it up, or do they just address it when someone says something to them about it? Like
A
from
little
what
of
I've
both.
seen, because I've seen a lot of these people, a lot of these dudes online that are black that like Angel Reese or not like they like Caitlin Clark, and the only time they say something about race is when they're someone says, "Oh, you're a coon," or "You this," or "You that." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? That's when they respond. But on the flip side, when you like Angel Reese and if you don't like Angel Reese and you like the white girl, then you a coon and you racist. You know what I'm saying? You see what I mean?
right.
But it's never like that on the Caitlin. Well, I haven't seen it like that. I've seen it like that. The way I've seen it with the black guys on the Caitlin Clark side is they respond. They don't start the shit. They just address the shit. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Well,
that's the difference
I've
I
seen a
see.
little of both.
Oh, well,
What you're
I got to see
describing,
that.
I've seen a little of both, where some
Oh,
of it is a
I
racial thing and some of it is just, plain misogyny. You know what I mean?
oh yeah.
Just outright misogyny.
Oh, you
But
probably talking to the wrong
that's
person.
neither here nor there. That's my personal
Yeah, because
opinion. I think, a lot of
they
these
need to
black men
think
that
they need to
run
be having
Caitlin
the
Clark channels,
kitchen. They need to have
a
a
lot of these
kitchen
black,
stove out there in pots and pans and learn how to do that
yeah,
instead of
participants. Yeah, that
instead of
kind of stuff. But I think a lot of these black men who run Caitlin Clark channels, a lot of them, have a thing for wanting
Can I
to
say
humble
something,
a
BD?
black woman.
there's a black man right there. Let the black man. Let the black man.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Am I a
And
black man?
congratulations on last night. You did a good job, just so you know.
Hey,
Yeah.
and thanks for coming up,
Excellent.
man. You was fly. You was
You
fly,
did better than me.
huh?
He did better than me. He did better than I did.
No, I didn't, man. You the greatest of all time. Well, you in the top 5. But anyway, hey, BD,
Yeah.
you was fly last night. Thanks for coming up. I got to give you your props. Um,
Right. I noticed a lot of the women didn't want to answer my 50-50 question. That seemed to grind their gears, but that's another story
yeah,
that
you
we could
had,
get into on your show.
yeah. We ain't got to talk
They
about that.
ain't going to.
But this is why I don't watch sports no more. Is because why is politics and race in sports? Sports used to be a place where you can get away from this type of talk. I like Peyton Clark because she balls. I don't think Angel Reese is a good basketball player. What does that have to do with race? What does that have to do with
To me,
politics?
nothing.
No,
It shouldn't be.
but you're
But a lot of
saying
people have made it that way.
I,
But
I
all right,
I think
I'm gonna ask you that question again. On the Caitlin Clark side with the black guys, right? Or the black people, even black females that like Caitlin Clark. When have they ever thrown race out there first?
I've never heard it.
I haven't heard neither. I've always heard it being addressed, not thrown out there first.
Black men are shamed into not liking Caitlin Clark. I say it out loud. Caitlin Clark is my favorite player in the WNBA of all time. I love watching her play. Angel Reese is trash. Now, me saying that somehow I'm misogynistic or racist or a coon or a sellout or a Trump supporter. Like I don't want to talk about my politics or my beliefs in women's position in the world. When I say that, I just mean that. That's sports talk.
I know. Epoxy said this too, but I thought the same thing. When Canelo fought Mayweather, who you
Uh-huh.
think I went with? Who you think I went with?
Well, I heard you say Mayweather, but I would thought Canelo because you're Mexican.
You know,
But that's
but this
boxing.
my
Boxing is the
thing
one
is
sport.
why if someone is better, my favorite like people always say this about me. You know what I'm saying? But my favorite players ever to touch the balls or anything,
The
pause,
balls.
was LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? A
No,
black,
we
you
don't.
know what I'm saying? Eduardo Nahara ain't my damn favorite player in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
And
in baseball,
what if
in
I,
baseball, it would have been Barry Bonds. You know what I'm saying? Poppy or nobody ain't my favorite player. You feel me? In football, shit. If you want to talk about all time, I'll take a running back. It would be Barry Sanders. You know what I mean? Like, of course, the quarterback would be Peyton Manning, but That's about, you know what I'm saying? That's about the only one. You feel me? But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I get. I mean, BD, you might have a point. I just don't see the point. I just don't see the point. Like, you might have a point.
Right. Well,
So I'm
I
not.
know you guys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all don't see the sports panels that be on here. But in my experience, on being on both sides of the fence, going on Caitlin Clark channels and going on Angel Reese channels, I see the divide, and it's really big. Like, you have a lot of black men that ride hard for Caitlin Clark, and you got some black men that ride hard for Angel Reese, but the ratio between the men that ride for Caitlin Clark and the men that ride for Angel Reese, it's like 3-1. Like, for every 10 Caitlin Clark channels, there might be 2 Angel Reese channels. You
Did you see
understand
the
what
All
I'm
Star?
saying?
Did you see the All Star voting?
Yeah, I seen the All-Star voting,
Okay,
and the
Listen,
that's
All-Star voting
you gotta look, but you
reflected
gotta
that.
look at it like this.
yeah. That's what
She's
I'm
the
saying.
better player.
The All
She's the
Star
better
voting.
player.
That's the All
Why
Star
would
voting.
they go with someone else that ain't the better player? That
That's
that
what I'm
don't
saying.
Well,
that don't make
it
no sense.
depends on if we're talking about this year. This year, Caitlin Clark has not been the better player. She's
If
only
she's
played
on the court,
14
she's gonna
games.
be the better player. She hasn't been the better player because she's missed 17 games. That's the only reason why
Yeah,
all her
she's
numbers
not the
are
better
dropped.
player this year.
That's the only reason why her
Wait,
numbers
Reese
are
was
dropped.
she's
having
not
an
the better player
MVP
because it's
campaign.
Oh my
huh?
goodness. Oh my goodness. This is amazing.
Listen,
Okay.
if we want to go statistically, Angel Reese, right? She was the only person in the WNBA averaging a double-double this year, the only one out of
Oh, what?
144 women.
Oh my goodness. She's getting all her own rebounds. What is so good about missing a layup to get your own rebounds? What's so good about that?
This year, that hasn't been the case, though. She wasn't just grabbing offensive rebounds. You can't
What's her
grab your
what?
own defensive
What's her
rebound.
shoot?
She led the
What's her
league in
shoot?
defensive
What is her
rebounds.
shoot? What is her
That's
shooting
not grabbing
percentage?
your own rebound. And
What
I
is her
hate
shooting percentage?
that whole argument with the whole me-bound thing. An offensive rebound is an offensive rebound.
So
Like,
I'm gonna go
What
out
is
even
her?
if it's off your own miss, Dennis Rodman made a living of grabbing his own misses, and nobody said nothing to him.
Dennis Rodman
So,
didn't try to take it up every time he took it. He got it and threw
no,
it back. He
I
passed
know
it out
that,
like he
but
was
it's
supposed
still he
to.
was still
When he
grabbing
did
his
take it
own
up, he took
misses,
it up.
though,
Yes,
was my
he
point.
did that. But she don't pass the ball. She would look everybody off and go up 4 or 5 times in a row just to get the rebound and think that she did something good at the end of the game.
What is
All
what is
right,
her?
but it still takes a skill to grab your own miss if you got other people going for the same ball. It's not like she going up and she is just her in the paint by herself and she's grabbing her own rebound. She's still grabbing her own rebound over 2 and 3 other women. So, like, how is that, what I mean, a bad thing? I don't see how that's a bad thing. If you could still fight for the ball and you still fighting 2, 3 other women and you still getting the ball, that just means you have more hustle than them other women that's trying to grab the same ball that she's grabbing.
I understand you like Angel Reese. It's okay.
Of course, I do. I like Caitlin Clark too, though.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I
You
do.
like Angel
I'm
Reese
a
more?
No,
Caitlin Clark fan, just like I'm an Angel Reese fan. See, and
to
that's
say
the
that,
misnomer that a lot of people have. You can't be fans of both of them
to say that, and of
equally.
course you can. Of course you can. But you can be truthful about both of them too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I am being
Angel
truthful
Reese is
about both of them.
nowhere on Caitlin Clark's
Listen, you
level.
can't average a double-double and be trash. Just like
Listen,
you can't average 8, 9 assists a game and be
pull up her
trash.
pull up her numbers from last year.
From
Pull up
last
numbers
year,
from last year and see what she averaged a double and look at her numbers and tell me that's great
okay, hold on.
for
Give me
someone
one
that can shoot
second.
from 5 feet away from the 5 feet away from the goal.
Give me a second. I'm gonna pull up her numbers from last year, and I'll pull up her numbers from this year too.
Yeah, they probably got better. I'm pretty sure they got better. It's supposed to get better. You're supposed to do that. You know what I mean? But you know what? I don't know. I can't even say nothing because I haven't seen it this year. How about that?
No,
Oh, and you know
I'm gonna
why?
pull up her numbers from last year.
Hey, y'all can see the chat when y'all come into the channel right now, right?
I can
Not
see the
you,
Yeah,
chat.
Art.
Ain't nobody who's
yeah.
in the chat.
Not you, Art. I'm talking about BD. When y'all come over there to
Yeah,
last night, did you see the chat?
yeah, you can see the chat.
I
Yeah, you
had
can
to
see the
change it
chat.
on my side.
You couldn't see it before, but you can
Yeah,
see it now.
tourism told me how to change it on my time, on my side.
Oh, okay, he did.
Now
Okay,
everybody can see
so
chat.
let's pull up her stats from last year. Last year, she averaged 13 points a game and 13 rebounds.
What's
This
her
year,
shooting
she's
percentage?
averaged.
No. I want to see her her field goal percentage. No,
That's what I'm saying. Field goal percentage. Damn.
let me pull it up
Okay,
since you
her,
there too.
her
Let
field
me
goal
pull it up.
percentage
I'll pull it
last
up
year
for you.
was 39%, and her field goal percentage
I'll
this
pull it
year
up.
is 44%.
We'll just do it like this. I'll just pull it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. I know.
Her field goal percentage
You
last
don't
year
want
was
to show
39%, and her field goal percentage this year is 44%.
Trash. For a big
Now,
man, quote unquote, trash. What's
now
Caitlin
we're gonna
Clark?
pull up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I'm
do it.
about to pull that
I
up
bet
for
her
you.
3-point percentage is higher than her field goal percentage.
We about
All right.
I'm about to pull it for you so you can see.
Uh-oh,
Well,
it's
I can
boring
tell
out,
you
y'all.
rather. So I know I'm on ESPN, so
Hey, is there any football games on today?
There probably is.
I ain't
a
watching.
lot of the preseason games played yesterday.
Yeah, my 49ers got blew
I
out.
had to check and see though.
It's trash. That's why.
It's
We gotta be
preseason though.
And you
Yeah,
It's
can't drop.
preseason.
And you can't drop.
As for Caitlin Clark, she averaged 19 points and 8 assists, and her field goal percentage was she shot 41% from the field and 34% from three last year.
There
This
you go.
year, her
Pull that up.
average, she's averaged six,
Pull it up right here, man.
she's
This is you
averaged
from last year.
16.5 and 8 assists in
I don't want
14
to pull it up.
games.
That art. I don't want to
Her
pull it
field
up.
goal percentage is 36%, and her 3-point percentage is 27%.
Ah, man. All right.
So she wasn't having the greatest of year this year compared to
No, she
last
wasn't
year.
setting the world on fire. You're right. But
No,
they
not this
fouled
year.
the
She
shit
just
out of her.
wasn't.
So
That's another thing. This is another thing you could have did. You could have did. No, I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job.
I did a whole video on that Wall Street Journal article
I'm gonna
about
start a
Caitlin
morning
Clark
segment.
and
I'm gonna
her
start a morning segment. Show you
civil rights.
for about a week. All right. I'm gonna start a morning segment showing for about a week how to do a sports show right quick. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show them how to do it right quick. I don't even know how to do it, but I'm gonna do it. Look, you could have talked about Stephen A. and Dr. Phil talking about Caitlin Clark and Dr. Phil roasting his ass. You know what I'm saying? The reason why this and that, the reason why she's injured because last year she had to go through Battle Royale on the damn court. You know what I mean?
I did a whole video about Caitlin Clark and her civil rights being violated, though, Skywalker. I read the Wall Street Journal article.
Yeah, but you could have it's still been that's what you need to, you know what?
No, I'm all good for taking suggestions. I'm just saying I did cover it though.
Yeah,
A Wall Street Journal article and her civil rights being violated. I covered that because that was a big, huge thing.
You gotta go to somewhere where you see what's trending in sports. Find something that nobody has did a reaction on.
Run his page.
You watch it, you break down what you see, and you do a reaction on it.
Hey, BD, tell him.
He's not telling me anything. He's just giving me suggestions. I'm all for suggestions, man.
He kicked me to the back.
And he always trying to tell people what to do.
I'm not telling him what to do.
That's the Mexican in him. He can't help it.
Hey, Art. Didn't I say I was gonna do it?
Do what?
I said I'm gonna do it for a week.
Do what for a week?
See, you ain't even listening. You're too busy looking up in the stars.
I'm trying to pull this. I'm trying to see if it's sports on or what's on today.
All you gotta do is
my
on
TV.
your phone, YouTube.
Well, I'm on my phone.
But yeah, I still feel like there's definitely a divide between black men, though, when it comes to the two women, and I think a lot of it is more political than it is basketball.
Another thing, what's your favorite basketball WNBA team right now?
team, the Liberty. I'm a Liberty fan.
Okay, so you need to start doing reactions on Liberty show, like the whole game, sitting there watching the game and breaking the game down.
Yeah, like I'm very surprised. Like you don't have channels dedicated to Sabrina Ionescu, right? Who's having an MVP year and
So
plays
this
the
one
same
is,
position as
well, why
Caitlin
don't you do it?
Clark,
You see what I'm
and
saying?
she's just as white.
There should be
Yeah.
no
But because
channel
nobody
dedicated
wants
to
to
one.
hear about Sabrina Ionescu, she don't make waves. She don't make
But
news
that's your,
like how
if
Caitlin
you
Clark
connect
do.
with the people, of course you got to talk about Caitlin Clark all the time, but that's how you bring people in. Then you put in your team. My team is Liberty, we're gonna talk about this, but you gotta, of course you do that.
Yeah, you could do your morning show about how the Cowboys got smacked last night by the Rams.
Oh, did they?
Oh, god damn it. Boy,
Yeah,
you lucky I ain't got the damn button.
I
Hey,
mean
what
they
was the
got
score?
smacked.
I'll
I
drop
can
you.
tell
I'll
you.
drop
Hold up, they. Yeah, I know you would drop my ass, but yeah, they got smacked pretty
Matter of fact,
good
there's another
last
thing
night.
you can do. You could have did you could have found some shit and did a show about Caitlin Clark and all them people that she done lost on the team. There's been like about 5 or 6 injuries, right?
Oh, two. It's
Hey,
been
let-
two
Hell
injuries.
no. Look at it.
Hold
That
on.
shit,
What was the score of that Cowboys game?
I'm about to tell you, sir.
Yeah,
Give
let's
me
talk
1
about that.
second.
shut the hell up, man.
Yeah, they got smacked in the
Hey,
preseason.
how much I got to pay to drop both of y'all? And take over your fucking show.
You can't drop me. It's my show.
No, that's the no. The rules are I can drop you if I pay. You know what I'm saying?
You can't drop me on my show.
How you gonna make rules on this?
Hey,
Right. It's Skywalker Wild.
no.
See, they don't
I
even
take
want to
you-
show me the Cowboys score because they haters too. Hold up. Let me find the damn
Let's
score.
see.
Y'all seen some bullshit. That's why. Y'all just try to lie and shit. It's crazy.
Nah, they got smacked last night by the Rams. But again, you know, I don't take account too
Y'all got
much
smacked by the
preseason
Rams?
football. Yeah, they got
Oh,
smacked
was
by the
they in
Rams.
LA in Inglewood?
It's
I should have went
preseason.
to that
They
game.
was in LA, yeah.
I should have went. I should have skipped ladies' night and went to that game.
You wouldn't have did that lying ass. Why you lying?
Fuck it. I mean, just to piss you off. Damn, y'all got smacked by the Rams.
So what?
I wonder what the
That's
score
crazy.
was.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. The ESPN acting stupid. Don't want
We
to
got
pull
whooped
up
on
the
30-9. But we got a rookie, Jay Watkins, Jared something Watkins.
right.
Receiver.
But you know, again, I don't take too much into preseason stuff because it is preseason. So
31-21.
thank you,
31-20.
Scott, because
I don't want no ass one.
but yeah, it was 28-3 at halftime. Like
20
Stetson Bennett was
preseason,
killing them
man.
last night.
That's preseason, man.
But again, it's preseason. It's preseason,
Yeah,
so
y'all done made me cuss y'all's ass out, man. Hey, man,
but
I don't want to get kicked out of the show,
preseason
man.
is neither here nor there.
You know what? You know what?
Do we play the Cowgirls
I mean-
or the Little Giants this year?
I'm about to leave. See, I'm about to drop my damn self. See that?
You're gonna drop it. Hey man, if they suck, they suck.
Greatest
Skywalker,
team
but
ever.
here's the thing.
I'm just playing.
They do have a defense. It's just a quarterback. That's the real issue with the Cowboys. Is
No, we need
quarterback.
to get a whole.
It's the quarterback. That's all it is. You get a real quarterback.
You know how they try to
then
pump
you
up.
be okay.
You know how they try to pump up your coach. Like I got a Dallas channel I follow, right? And they try to pump him up, like, oh yeah, he's looking like an old school coach. He's getting on their ass. He's getting mad at him. He's doing this. I said, man, that ain't nothing, man.
So, to my topic though, do you think that there's a divide amongst black men when it comes to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, or do you think it's just a misnomer?
I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
a
You gotta ask
misnomer.
Art because
I think it's a misnomer.
I couldn't answer it.
You think it's a misnomer, Art? Do you think that
Yeah.
it's more centered on basketball and not nothing political or
Not
nothing
else. Not nothing else.
misogynistic?
Not nothing else. Just like politics. Politics are based off policies. And what you're saying is politics. The politics
Right.
of basketball is based off basketball. Caitlin Clark better than Angel Reese. There's no debate about it. If you just the eye test says it. The stats kind of say it. but the eye test tells the whole story. I don't see it.
Well, in my opinion, it depends on what you value as a fan, right? If you value scoring and playmaking, then Caitlin Clark would naturally fit your fandom because that's what you value. If you value somebody who play defense and rebounds, then Angel Reese would be more the person that you would be a fan of because that's what you value. Like I know people who like Dennis Rodman more than they like Michael Jordan, even though the fact is Michael Jordan was the better player than Dennis Rodman, right?
But the
But I
numbers be
know a lot of
staggering,
people who
just like you
Dennis
said.
Rodman was their favorite player. And Dennis Rodman didn't score the basketball. He played defense and he rebounded. But that's what they value. You understand what I'm saying? So it depends on what you value as a fan at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's just like in football. Like
I,
your favorite player, most people favorite player on a football team is somebody on the offensive side of the ball because they value scoring touchdowns and getting yards rather than getting sacks or interceptions. You understand what I'm
I'm just
saying? So
I'm just saying the problem with sports and people who talk sports, and this is why ESPN is failing. This is why sports talk radio is failing, is because they want to add race and politics into the sports. Just I'm just talking basketball. Caitlin Clark, I don't give a damn about the color of her skin. I'm talking about the number on her jersey and the name on the back. That jersey is better than Angel Reese. I don't give a damn about what color they are.
right.
That's
Well,
and that's why
my
I
thing,
don't.
I
That's why I
don't
don't
think
watch
you could
sports no more.
compare the two only because they play two different positions. It's kind of like trying to compare SGA to Jokic. You understand what I'm saying? You really can't compare SGA to Jokic because they play two different positions. Like one is
But
a
you
5 and one is a 2. So
you don't
how
want to
can you
ask the
really
question.
compare the two? No. I
But
know
you
I'm asking the question. I'm not trying to compare them in a basketball sense. I'm not really comparing them at all. I'm just trying
I'm
to
gonna
figure
compare
out
them.
why the divide exists
I'm gonna
so
compare them.
prevalent between black men.
there's no. Why are you saying it's a divide? Why?
Because
So
there
wait.
is a divide. I put it to you like this. It seems like the black men who like Caitlin Clark hate Angel Reese, and the black men that like Angel Reese hate Caitlin Clark. Like there's not a lot of people like me who are just fans of both of them. You understand what I'm saying? And who could just see the basketball aspect of it. People are making it political, like because she's a white girl or because she's a black girl. You understand what I'm saying? They want to leave it at the make it a racial thing and make it a political thing instead
Look,
of
this
just
dude right
keeping
here.
it basketball.
Look, this dude right here.
That's my argument.
Hey,
My
this dude
argument
right
is
here.
similar to yours. Like, why we got to
Hey,
make it political? Why can't we
BD,
just talk basketball?
BD. This guy right here, Fly. Well, I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just gonna say, um, this guy right here did a show on Kelsey Plum yesterday, and let me see, 11 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? And he got 5,324 views in 11 hours and
What's up, Eric?
519
Eric was good, bro.
and 519 likes off of a Kelsey Plum video.
Right.
All right. Okay.
He probably got a whole bunch of subs too.
I just
I
said
don't
that.
got a whole bunch of subs.
I know that. He got let me see how much subs he got. I'm pretty sure he got a whole bunch of subs. He got 32K. Yeah, you're right. But what I'm trying to show you is that this is what you got to do. You gotta address it when someone says something to you. That's what my advice. If someone says something to you about being racist, address it. My advice. If you want to keep it about sports, keep it about sports. If you want to do political sports, don't try to stay away from the race. My advice. I think that would be Art's advice too.
Well, my thing is, I'm not making it a racial thing. I'm making it it's more of a political thing because this is what I see in the YouTube street.
Read the title.
This is what I see.
But read the title.
And yeah, my title says Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese divide amongst black men because they're black men who are running Caitlin Clark channels. and they don't just talk about Kate. It'd be one thing, right, if you were just talking about Caitlin Clark and keeping it to Caitlin Clark. That would be one thing, but it's another thing when you got to praise Caitlin Clark, but on the back end bash Angel Reese. You understand what I'm saying? Why you're trying to praise Caitlin Clark. You don't have to do all that. Just keep it to Caitlin Clark. Just don't worry. The Angel Reese people do the same thing. They praise Angel Reese, but at the same time they want to bash Caitlin Clark while praising Angel Reese instead of just sticking to Angel Reese. Like if you have a favorite player, stick to your favorite player. You shouldn't use another player to down another player to praise the player that you like.
Well, then debate topics shouldn't even be had. You should end. All sports shows should end. Nothing should be talked about. Nothing. Because that's what you're saying. You're saying that you can't compare another sports player to another sports player when for the last 30 years they've been comparing Jordan, Kobe, and Mike and LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, that needs to be in too.
Well, you could compare Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron because they all play the same position.
Huh?
No, you can't compare them. It doesn't matter. Don't compare them.
You know, it's not like you comparing Jordan to Kareem or Jordan to Chamberlain.
If they're in the MVP vote,
it's different.
If Jokic and SGA are in the MVP vote, and I pick Jokic, that means that I think Jokic is a better player than they might not play the same position. I still think Jokic is a better player. That doesn't downgrade what's name. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't downgrade. You know what I'm saying? Right now, when I talk about Angel Reese, I don't think she's that good. I think she got better from what I heard. You said it too, and I've heard this on other channels that she has.
Oh yeah, she's definitely improved.
You know what I mean? So of course you're supposed to improve if you want to improve. She's showing that she wants to now. At first, she's showing that she wasn't showing that. You know what I'm saying? So of course there's improvement. But if you want to say Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are in MVP conversation, you're comparing them whether you like it or not. You're gonna have to pick one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not willing to do that, they need to end the MVP vote because the MVP ain't just point guards against point guards.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
not at all.
They need to end the
MVP vote. It's about who's the most impactful for their team.
That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Who is the most impactful? Is Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, who's the most impactful for their team?
Is Caitlin Clark more impactful to her team than Angel Reese to her team? Which one is it? Which one is it?
For right now, it would have to be Angel Reese because the Fever is still winning without Caitlin Clark. The Sky have done nothing without Angel Reese. Like nothing.
They were winning without her. They were doing nothing without her. She doesn't move the needle over there.
Well, she moved more of a needle than Caitlin Clark would because they're playing very well without Caitlin Clark.
Knock on wood, because I don't want to get the little girl hurt. But if she was to get hurt right now, where would Chicago be? Because I remember last year she got hurt and Chicago still made it to the playoffs.
Yeah, they still made, but she got hurt like 2 games before the playoffs started, though. So like, they were already in the playoffs before she got hurt.
How much games did she miss last year?
Yeah, she was out a couple. She missed 4 games last year, Angel Reese. Now Caitlin Clark didn't miss any games last year.
Hey,
no, she only missed 4 games.
Can I ask you a quick question? Because I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get up out of here. BD, do you want to be a big channel or do you want to just talk about like? Do you want to just like have your conversations that? What do you want to do with this?
Actually, I just, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to be the super big channel. I just want to just have conversations. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like every weekend.
Get that stuff that you were talking about.
I mean, I do have a job. I could get stuff. I'm not.
So your job is going to help you get.
Okay.
Your job is going to help you start the school and stuff that you were talking about.
Well, I have a 401k and a pension. Yeah. And then when I beat up Bob, that'll help out too. When I get that too.
Oh, you're gonna, you know, the school that you talking about, you know, you're gonna need a lot more than that, right?
Right, but I'll find investors and all that because there are plenty of people out here with autistic children. So
And some
like
of the investors they might be white. What if they white?
then they white. I don't see color when it come to stuff like that. I'm not a racist.
I'm
So
just saying. I'm just saying. This is my advice. Titles like, never mind.
no,
I
I'm saying if y'all up here, I'm all for constructive criticism. So
See,
this
whatever
is
y'all
look,
got to say, say.
the
did
conversation
I'm
Chicago
you
cool.
make the
having
playoffs?
right now. The
The
conversation
Chicago
you
didn't
want
even
to
make the
have.
playoffs last year, did they? The dude in the chat. The Chicago didn't even make the playoffs last year with Angel Reese, right?
Yeah, with injuries. Yeah.
And they didn't even make the playoffs. See, that's how much you
No.
know about that's how much we know about that shit.
Eric said, hey, "Stop watching the WNBA. Is trash. Stop watching it."
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't care for the W, which is fine. You understand what I'm saying? It's just I've been watching the W since it first started. So that's why I could keep up with it like
so,
I can
so
because I'm
You
used
gonna
to
switch
watching
over
it.
to football?
I've been watching it since I was young.
You gonna
So
switch over to football here?
hey,
I'm
man,
sorry.
I'll holler at y'all later, man.
No, man, you gone, man. Get your ass up out of here, man. Go. Kick his ass up out the
Nah,
studio.
Art probably tired. He had a long night.
Why? He ain't tired.
Yeah, he
For
slept all
what?
night, nigga.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I
You didn't
didn't.
do
I
shit.
went
You
to
didn't do
sleep
shit
3
last
o'clock
night.
my time
Yeah,
and
you was
got
Oh,
up.
watching.
I
You was
got
watching.
I do got some advice for y'all though. Y'all can't. I love JP. That's my guy. But y'all can't just be letting JP just come and just take over y'all show like how he tried to take over y'all show last night. Y'all got to
I
have
put his ass to the
a
back. I
line.
put
Like
his ass to the
sometimes you
back.
got to throw that motherfucker in the back
I put his ass to
because
the back for 45 minutes, and he just sat back there. Then I brought him back. I
JP
put
is
his ass to the
gold.
back. But
JP is that diamond that nobody found yet.
JP is that dude, man. He brings the views,
yeah,
man, and he
he
brings
do.
people to come back.
You
I
cannot
can't
tell the
lie.
president no. You can sit him down and make him do a timeout for a minute, but whatever the president
You
says,
gotta
president
remember,
says.
BD. This is about content. At the end
Right.
of the day, it's about the numbers. That's all it's about. Yeah, we can have fun and all that stuff, and we can educate each other. But if ain't nobody watching it, we might as well call each other on three-way. If ain't nobody in the comment section and the views ain't going up and the likes ain't going up, we might as well have this conversation amongst us. If you're wasting your time if you don't understand it, it's all about content and it's all about the views. That's all it's about. When you're on YouTube, it's all about the views.
Have you found the sports channel in the Discord that you can go on and drop
Not
your
that I could post my channel and no. A lot of these Discord sports they don't allow you to post your channel. Like you could go on the channel, but they won't let you post your stuff. I've looked at a couple of them, a few of them that I've tried to join,
on
and then you
Discord?
try to post your channel, and then they kick you out because they don't want you posting your channel.
Mhm.
I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. But again, I would like to know about the divide amongst black men and why
Yep.
they feel the way they feel. Because I see it on the YouTube streets, and there's clearly a divide. So I would like to understand why that is
I watch all the
from a black person.
I watch all them channels. See,
What's up,
Poxy,
y'all?
what's going on with you, brother?
what's up?
Not much, man. Just joining in on the chat. I was listening to you guys while I was doing some work.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Yeah,
What do you
what's
think?
the
What do you think about the question though?
about Caitlin
Do you
Clark?
feel that about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and the divide amongst black men in particular? I know you not black, you like Mexican like Skywalker. So I got two Guadalnajaras up here, which is
Oh
pretty
God.
cool.
Well, I'll tell you this. The thing is, the way we see it, like the way we do things in our culture with sports, we love sports. It's boxing, soccer, baseball, and then the
Right.
Latin community they love. There's no Mexican person that's not gonna know Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and especially Kobe. And I'll tell you that right now. And
Right.
the thing is, we love sports. It's one of those things when we go to the sports games and like you're just cheering on like it's something personal. So it's like one of those things where there's like I know there's a clear divide of culture and everything and all that, but to be honest with you, BD, I don't think there's so much a divide in the black community or black men and Caitlin Clark. I think it's more on the social media spectrum, like people that actually don't watch the actual sport, that are just
Right,
kind of into it because it's like popular thing. Because it's like with the
right.
WNBA, nobody really talked about them until Caitlin Clark and the Angel Reese thing. And I feel like the WNBA missed that boat with that rivalry to make it something with TV worth instead of like something social issue worth.
Right. That's my issue. It's not people who are actually watching the games
Right.
that are making all of these videos. It's people who are just commenting on what they see on social media, but they're not actually watching the games. They're not watching the actual physical games to know what's really going on. They're just going off word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? And if you're going off word of mouth and you don't really know what you're talking about, then you're just really just talking at the end of the day.
And then like
And
with
Mavis,
athletes,
good morning to you.
how we were growing up playing sports and everything, you always gave credit what credit is due, no matter what color, skin color, culture, wherever you're from. If you balled out, you balled out. Like that's all it
Right.
was. It's usually the people that are on the side and on the stand cheering on your friends or whatever. Those are the ones that are doing all that rah-rah stuff. But it's always the fans that are just there for the hype. Even when you go to games, like we used to buy tickets like towards the lower area, lower bowl, but the real fans were up at the very top. That's where the real
Right.
fans were. Yep. So it's even
Yeah, the
at
real
games,
fans are
people use
always
it as a
in the
social.
nosebleed.
Yep. Even like
You're right
they
about
use
that.
like
The real fans
social.
be in the nosebleed section.
People just buy like the lower
You're
so they can get
absolutely
on
right about
TV,
that.
and just for like a hangout, like more of a social status type thing, man. But
I
no,
agree
it's
with that.
the Caitlin Clark thing, man. It's not even an issue, man. I mean, there's been so many white players. It's just that she just happened to be very popular from the very get go. Her and Reese in college, like their jersey numbers. Oh my God, like the jerseys, like so many people bought their jersey number, the college stuff.
Apache. They can
Yep.
call people
Oh
like
man,
us.
you know how hard it is to find a Caitlin Clark
Hey,
jersey?
hey, hold up, BD. Y'all can call us casuals to the WNBA, right? Or however you want to say it,
Right.
right?
Right.
But she's the one that's getting us to watch y'all. She's the one that's getting us to watch it. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
To watch the Jujus
I,
and shit like that. To
I
watch
agree with
the
that,
LG, to
Skywalker.
watch the Leah
Caitlin
Boston.
Caitlin
So
Clark
yeah,
has brought millions of people
no,
to the
they should be
WNBA.
crying about it. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah,
And
mean?
even
Caitlin Clark
think,
has brought millions of views to the WNBA. I don't disagree with that. She has. A lot of people
yeah,
ain't know nothing about the W or cared about the W before Caitlin Clark, and the All-Star voting, it reflects that. Like, I'll give you a number, right? In 2022, Asia Wilson, who is the best player in the WNBA
yep,
right now
yep.
in terms of basketball, Asia Wilson is the standard, right? She's
It
the
is.
best
Yep,
player. She's the Michael Jordan. She's the LeBron James of the WNBA. She only got 95,000 All-Star votes in
yep,
2022. Now
yep.
we fast forward 2025. She got 900,000.
That's not because
Three.
of her. It's
I
because of
got a
Caitlin
million
Clark.
one.
Caitlin Clark
Yeah,
is the role. Hold up. Caitlin Clark is playing the role of Michael Jordan right now to the WNBA. And people need to stop pushing her off. You know what I mean? They need to see it for what it is and go along with it. You know what I mean? Because as far as
Well,
you know what
she's
I'm
the
saying?
most popular player. She's not
Listen,
the best player.
listen.
Right. That's
To me,
normal. That's fine. Yeah.
if you want to say, and I know y'all two ain't gonna agree with this, to me, Michael Jordan wasn't the best player at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
If he
fine.
was the best player at the time, he would have been able to win in the 80s, in the late 80s. You know what I'm saying? Not in the early 80s, in the late 80s. That's just my opinion. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
Yeah.
what they did do was they marketed him. That's what
They
they needed
did.
to
They
do with
marketed the
Caitlin
crap
Clark.
out of Jordan.
They need to market
Yep.
Caitlin Clark, start with the racist bullshit. You know what I mean? Because if you really look at it, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time, It's not about the races. They're just looking at one player is better than the other, and then other people take it as, oh, you just don't like the black girl.
And you know
You're
what, Sky?
black.
I
You're
think
supposed to like the
because
black girl.
we love sports. I think and then like that goes for everybody that watches sports. We get pulled into that because we love the sport so much. It doesn't have to be basketball. It could be anything.
Yeah.
We get pulled into the nonsense of the temporary fan that's only there for that social talk. Like we get pulled into it, and when we really know, like we're arguing for no reason with somebody that doesn't really watch the sport every day, or like it revolve their life around it. So it's like, you know. I mean, it's like we know she's very popular. It's like what is it? Jake Paul's MVP boxing promotion. If it wasn't
Right.
for him, a lot of these female boxers wouldn't be known now. Like
Amanda
especially
Serrano and
Serrano. Serrano's the main
yeah,
one,
yeah.
and that's
Main one
because
is
she has an
Serrano.
island. And
Yeah,
that's because there's certain sports that have certain demographics that stick out more. Like in boxing, whenever there's a Puerto Rican versus Mexican fight, it's gonna make big. And whenever there's a big Latin boxer versus a Black American fighter, it's a big drawing. But those are individual sports. The WNBA, like the NBA and everybody, that's an overall everybody effort. And if you don't get on board with something before it goes, like usually it ages out, with these type of athletes that you have come, every other 10 years, maybe. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's like, look, in the NBA, you could use it used to be the race thing, but we're men. You're like, yeah, Luka's white, but he's really just a baller. Like he likes to ball
what
out.
do you think? See, there's another thing you can be doing, Sean. What do you think about Ozempic Luca? What you think he can do? You know what I mean? Because they say he's losing weight.
Oh, Luka,
Yeah. I heard
he's on
about that. The
Ozempic.
whole Luca.
That's just,
Yeah,
that's just what
he's
they
on a
say.
whole weight loss program.
I don't think he's on Ozempic,
Like,
but
I don't think so either.
you could have used something like that, like a title like that. You know what I'm saying? And just talk about his weight loss and what do y'all think he's gonna bring to the NBA? You know what I mean?
I think it's gonna be good.
Man, look, you need to do a show about that and see what you can find out, and then come back. You know what I'm saying? And do a show about that.
what,
I
on
wanna
Luca,
see-
you mean?
Because the
On,
Luca,
on his
the
weight
fat
loss
Luka
journey?
and the skinny Luka are two different Lucas. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that. I think
Yeah,
they
but
put a
you know
back-
what? The fat Luca was getting right too, though. I'm not going to hold you. The fat Luca took Dallas to the
Yeah.
finals the year before
this man-
last.
His body,
So-
he had a body.
It wasn't like
But he
he
was
was
losing
a
weight.
bum.
He was
being
losing
fat.
weight. He was losing weight at that time, though. You know what I mean?
He had a
No.
body by Paul Pierce body type. That's
Yeah.
what he was. He's moving around
Right.
people. I mean,
The fat Luca,
he's in LA.
Luca was getting right too.
Man, listen, man.
You know,
Bro,
just
he
the
was in
fat
LA.
Luca kept getting hurt.
Let
But
me
when the
ask
fat
you this.
Luca was healthy,
Let me
It's
ask
the
you
the
this.
Lakers.
fat Luca was still
If he-
getting right.
Let me ask you this: if he comes out this year with the 6-pack, looking like he done,
I don't like that.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't need- we
Looking like he
we
done.
don't
You know
need
what I'm
that.
saying? Then his movement is more agile. He's way quicker and shit.
Well, he's
You
gonna
think
get pushed around a
LeBron-
lot.
Do you think LeBron had? No, I'm talking about muscle. Nah, he don't lose no weight. Like he just turns it really into muscle.
Muscle. Oh,
And
LeBron might get
quickly
jealous.
stuff like that. Listen,
LeBron might get
Now,
jealous.
LeBron not going to get jealous.
No,
Why
no,
would
no,
he
no,
get
no.
jealous when Luca
No,
his
no,
team
you
get to a
think-
fifth ring?
you think
He's gonna get him more attention.
No, you
Less
think,
attention on him.
no, but I think that would be contributed to LeBron. I think when people get LeBron, listen, you done seen even AD. AD didn't stay healthy all the time, but he was way more healthier around LeBron. Y'all didn't notice
He
that?
was.
You know
No,
what
he
I'm
was.
saying?
He had the.
I did. I noticed that.
Every time he had a
That's what I
short
mean.
season,
When-
he had way more blocks, way more points, way more
when
rebounds.
you
Most
get-
people in the
when-
NBA.
I think LeBron teaches them that regimen that keeps them, you know what I'm saying, big, but with, you know what I'm saying, I don't know. I think
That
they get-
PED regimen.
Yeah.
Speaking of LeBron, just real quick before I get back to my topic, what do you think about his other son, Bryce?
Oh, he's
His
the
Bryce
best.
is good.
He's the
I
best
think
one.
Bryce
I
is good.
think Bryce is going to be the one, not
Yeah,
Bronny.
Bryce is
But
good.
that's just my personal
Yeah,
opinion.
I've been saying that.
I think so too. I
I've
think
been
so too.
watching
He has
him
the.
Yeah,
He has that
it's
old
high
school look
school
to him.
Yep.
He wears those goggles. Every time I see him with those goggles on, it's like he's got the old '80s look.
Mhm.
So no, but Bryce is
Yeah, I
good.
think Bryce, he's the one that's going to be the one. Like he already 6'6", and he only 18. So like he still got room to have another growth spurt. Like he could be maybe 6'8", 6'9" by the time he's
6'7".
done filling out.
He got 3 to 4 years to finish growing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. By the time he finished growing, he could end up being 6'8", 6'9". Like he's the one who's gonna have LeBron body type. I think Bronny got more of his mama body type than LeBron body type.
Bryce gonna be nasty when he comes. Boy,
Yeah,
if he's anything
Yeah,
like
but
his
Bryce,
daddy,
he's the
if
one.
he's
He's
any-
gonna be the
listen,
one.
if he's anything like his daddy in physique, when he comes to the NBA,
Nah, he's not
Yeah,
he's
he
gonna
gonna
be
be a
that.
problem.
He has a more of
He's
a
already a
standard, like tall basketball, leaned out look. That's what he has,
yeah,
right?
but see, you got to see the
Right, and
genetics he comes
and
from. Though.
unlike
But
LeBron,
he can inherit his dad's strength, though. Yeah.
Bryce
Like
got a
strength.
midi already.
Let me show you something. When LeBron was first coming
Like
into
remember
the league,
when
he wasn't
LeBron
that big.
first came to the
He was
league,
6'5".
LeBron couldn't shoot.
Yeah,
Right.
but when LeBron was coming to the league, he
Yeah,
was
when
like
LeBron
6'6",
first came, he
6'7".
couldn't shoot.
I
That's
know
true,
that, but what I'm saying is LeBron's stature. He
Yeah.
wasn't as big as he was now when he first came to the league at 18.
Oh yeah. He's got the
You know what I
18
mean?
debut, had the teenager body still, but
Yeah.
he had a very good size. But when
But
you
he had
hit
very
your
good
30s,
size,
usually when
right?
you hit your 30s,
Imagine-
32, you hit your full man grown like bro.
Imagine Bryce in 2 years. Isn't he like 16 right
Oh,
now?
he's gonna fill in. Yeah, he's gonna have to
2
fill in.
years,
He's
he'll
gonna go
have
into a man
like-
body.
Just imagine if he has the same physique that LeBron had when he was in high school. Then
Yeah.
3-4 years later, that's he bulks up and puts the weight with the agility.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the speed and all
definitely.
that.
Definitely, because I know when
He
you go to
already
the
got
pros, it's a whole different regimen.
Yeah, he already got some better 3-point shooter. He already got some better
Yeah.
shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just that all I don't know. I think he's gonna be. I don't know if he's gonna be
No,
like
but Bryce
LeBron,
already
but
got a jump
he's
shot.
Bryce.
So, like, if he get the size, he's gonna
Yeah.
be hard to stop because he can already shoot. Like LeBron
Yeah.
had to learn
Right.
how to shoot.
Yeah.
Like Bryce don't have to learn how to shoot. He already has a shot. So
Mhm.
when he come into the league, he already gonna be more prepared than how Bron was when he first came into the league. Like LeBron had to develop a mid-range game. Bryce already have a mid-range game. So he gonna come
Three-point
into the
mid-range,
league with
all
more tools than LeBron
That's true.
had
Yeah,
coming
that is
in.
true. And I think shooting even like the mid range, like which is usually not in the NBA anymore, man, the mid range shot or off the screen, the pop and shot, the pop and shoot, man, those are very good skills to have. Like maybe Tim Duncan, dude, like the fundamentals, in the NBA are almost gone.
Right.
Everything is show. There's only so many players that have man, I love the post fadeaway from Kevin Garnett and Kobe and all those guys back in the early '90s, late '90s. That man, that shake, the shoulder shake that Kevin Garnett used to do. Oh, dude, like man, that was the post up, and he gives you the shoulder shake. He feels you up, and then whichever side you're leaning more towards,
Hey.
you go the opposite way. Oh man, those were the fundamentals.
BD.
Well,
Have you seen
that's
that
what makes
clip
Shea
of,
so good, though.
BD?
Yeah,
SGA is so good because he has that.
BD.
Yeah.
Have you seen that clip of
Yeah.
what's the name? Damn, you just made me forget his damn name. It was Katie and Chet playing against each other.
They have a clip. No,
Check
I
him
haven't
out,
seen it.
Look, Chet can be a bad boy. He was blocking KD shot
And Chet already a bad boy.
Am I
When
Holmgren?
Chet really get
Yeah,
Chet Holmgren, when he develop a mid-range, because he don't really have a mid-range. Like it's either he's shooting a 3 or he posting up, but he don't have a mid-range game.
His center core is very weak,
Chet-
man. Like always falling.
You could get it.
But that's how KD was when he first
Yeah,
came
when
in.
Chet get range, you can forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Chet develop a mid-range shot, it's over because you're not going to be able to. He's already on 2.
Look, pull this
What
up.
are you gonna?
What's the name? What's the name was cooking though? Durant. He was cooking though, but he was blocking. Chet was blocking this.
Oh yeah, I mean Durant. I don't know what he's gonna do on Houston. He 38, 37 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know how much
Pull that up
Durant
in the
got
back.
left in the tank for real.
Pull that up in the back. It said Durant and Chet go at each
I
other.
don't
and
see
then
nothing
Chet's
in the
like-
back. In the back.
Yeah, I just put it in the back. Put in not in the back chat. I'm talking about you're bringing someone up.
Oh,
Oh,
back.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah.
And look, how Chet looks, that's how KD looked when he first came in the league. And look,
Yeah, they have
Right.
the same build and
KD
everything,
done
of
got a
course.
little size.
Yeah, that tall, lengthy frame.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The unicorn players, man.
and he ain't backing down. You talking shit, I'm talking shit right back to you.
Balling egg.
Right. Nah, Chet gonna be a beast, bro.
Yeah. Oh, he is.
As soon as he
Height.
get
Those type
that
of
mid
players, man,
range
with that
up.
height and length. Oh, imagine if the group had that somewhat of a shot, dude.
Right. Like I look at this video,
Nice
it makes
shot
me
right
think of what would Giannis be if Giannis if Giannis was willing to learn to shoot the mid range. Like how dominant would Giannis be?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. I mean, we can kind of
I
tell
can
like
only
how he would be. I
imagine.
mean, look at the Joker. The Joker, like back, like he does the fadeaways, post up, threes, dishes it out.
Yeah, that's a bad boy right there too.
Oh yeah,
I want to see
Joker is a
how
bad boy now. Don't
Wembanyama does. Hopefully, he develops.
See, Chet makes him redirect the shot. You
right.
Oh
remember?
yeah, that's
Because
You
he's so
remember when?
tall and lengthy.
You remember when
yep.
you didn't see nobody doing that, making KD redirect the shot. Know what I mean?
No,
Nah, not really.
Now
nah. He just
look at the people coming in now. Chet, look how he just made him redirect his layup. That was supposed to be in gas right there.
yeah.
All
Well,
he had to do was jump
KD
and he
shot.
made him.
KD shot. He always sticks out at his knee like Dirk. He said that's
Yeah,
where he got it from. Whenever he sticks
yeah,
his knee out, it's almost like a shield, dude. Like
yeah.
you remember Dirk shot had like the
Dirk, yeah,
big rainbow shot too. So
yeah.
there was no way. I mean, it was like very hard to block.
Right.
But people like Chet, they get into it. Why?
Well, Dirk was also 7 foot too, so
Yeah,
you're
that
gonna
is
see
true.
right now.
Yeah.
And Chet can
it's
move.
gonna be hard just to block a footer anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen it once or
Like
twice
God
on
forbid
KD.
when Wembanyama learn how to shoot,
But Chet
there ain't gonna be nothing you're gonna be able to
yeah,
do
it's
with
gonna be
Wemby.
hard. Yeah, Wemby's gonna be hard, but Chet, he's tall enough to block KD.
Yeah. Well, KD only 6'10", right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but his wingspan. You want to talk about the
he's blocking
wingspan?
everything. Look at Chet, he's blocking everything.
Where'd you get this link from, Skywalker? Where'd you get this from?
YouTube just put Chet versus what do you call it?
Chet
Chet versus
versus KD.
yeah, and they'll pop up. This was how long ago was it? They don't tell you how long ago it was. Oh, 3 months ago.
Okay. Well, he looked good, man. I mean, I'm a Chet fan, so like I always knew Chet was gonna be good.
Yeah,
It was just a matter of time of him developing his game
he
and
just got
learning
to
how
get
to,
some weight.
hit
He
that
got to
mid
get some
range.
weight on him. He got to get some weight on him.
Yeah.
Make him redirect the
Especially if
shot
you're
every
gonna be
time. See,
down there in the
you
post
ain't never see
banging.
that. See that you never seen that. You never seen people making Durant redirect their shot like he does. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he got the height and the length though. So
Yeah.
he got to fade
They
away
gotta
just
quit.
to get away from Chet. He can't just go straight up. Not on Chet, he's too tall. He's gonna have the same issue with Wemby when Wemby guarding him. He's gonna have to redirect his stuff because the man's 7'3", 7'4". Like you ain't
Yeah.
gonna be able to just go straight up and shoot over him. You're gonna have to fade away just to get away from the length. And Durant still looked good, man. At 37, he's still moving real good.
But see what I mean with Chet, you never seen nobody put like pressure like this on KD. You know what I'm saying? He puts a lot of
Right.
pressure on him because he's tall and he can move. All he got to do is he still got like about a year or two more to fill in. If he don't fill in, well, he still got a while to fill in, but he just needs.
Yeah, he still got a couple more years.
You need to get like
He's still
about,
pretty
I'd say
young.
about 10 to 20 more pounds on him. He'll be all right. But it has to be a
Yeah,
balance between
about
muscle.
10 pounds. You don't want him to be too heavy because he's so tall. You don't want to kill his speed by
Yeah.
adding too much extra weight. So I think 10 pounds, another 10 pounds upper body strength, because you don't want him to have a whole bunch of leg injuries when you start both
Yeah, but that's when you got to develop your legs too. You
put a
got
lot
to
of
build your legs.
pressure on your knees.
You got to develop your legs too, though.
Yeah, it's for tall people like that, the pressure on your knees is far higher. A guy my size, I don't have pressure on my knees like that because I don't have that kind of height. But when you have that kind of height, you're more susceptible to having more pressure on your knees.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is it's an interesting link though. I agree. Like he looked like he keeping up with KD. He moving his feet very well.
KD still scoring on him, but it's like you don't see people
He working for it
KD
though.
like that. You don't see people blocking KD shot. You know what I mean? You don't see that shit.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. I very rarely ever seen Kevin Durant's shot get blocked. Not a jump shot anyway.
See what Chet needs to work on is keeping
him
that ball
going to the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe him going to the hole for a layup. I might have seen him get blocked like that. But his jump shot, I've never seen his jump shot get just blocked. Like, I've never seen that.
Then you never seen it get redirected neither. You know what I'm saying? Usually, if he misses on his own accord.
Right. Well, I've seen Giannis redirect his stuff a couple of times, but again, we talk.
Yeah, but it ain't
about
been much.
Giannis,
You
right?
got a couple people in the league to do that. That's what I mean by
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. You just got a couple of people. Yeah, it's not a whole bunch of people that's redirecting Kevin Durant's shot, for sure. There's only a couple of people who can do that. But yeah, Chet looked good though. And OKC just as a team, they're going to be hard to stop.
What is it, third year, right?
Yeah, this is third year. Remember, he missed his whole rookie year. He was hurt his whole rookie year.
And now you're seeing tall guys like them bringing the ball down.
Right.
Being able to dribble. Not just bringing it down, not being able to do nothing.
Right. Tall guys with handle, like Jokic, like Wemby. Like these guys got actual handles. Like you're not them when they coming down the court. Like, yeah. I agree with that. He looks good though. He definitely looked good.
They need a little weight, man. Because you could tell that's how KD used to look, like Chet did.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. See, that would have been gas on anybody else.
Yeah, he looks good though. He definitely looks good. And you said this was 3 months ago, so this is a little bit after the finals, I would assume.
Yeah, that's what it said on the thing 3 months ago.
Yeah, so that's pretty good that he's working out. He's still, trying to improve his game after he just won a chip. That tells me he's dedicated.
He wants to be talked about next year. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, Chet's gonna be a star, even with SGA on the team. Like, he's gonna be a star. Chet. It's just a matter of time. He's not gonna ever be the guy on OKC because SGA is there, but he's gonna be a legit number 2 for sure.
Yeah.
So, what time did you get off last night, Skywalker?
I don't know, about like 1:12, something like that. But then I sat back and listened. But then I was talking to my old lady and trying to watch Breaking Bad, and I went to sleep on the phone.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying.
They had a good show. They had a good show.
I know.
I watched
at first,
it.
At first it was like this. It was like this. Then it came up a little bit. Then it looked like this, and then it went up. But he don't remember. Okay, I don't know if you remember. He thinks I'm hating on him. I'm not. The man did his thing. Nazers and him did their thing. You know what I'm saying? But you remember one night we were up there. We got close to 100 views. We had close to 100 viewers on one night. I don't know what it was that night. I
Right.
don't know why they came, but me and Bill and everybody was up there. They're like, damn, we got close to 100 views. He thinks I'm hating on him because I said that. The man was he had the best show so far. You know what I mean? He had the best show so far. What can I say? You
Right.
know what I mean? Now he thinks I'm hating on him. See, can't tell nobody nothing.
Nah, I mean the ladies' night thing. It was cool for me. I just ain't like the way JP came up there and tried to manhandle the ladies. Like I wasn't feeling that part. But it is what it is. He brung the views and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? I just ain't like why
Hey,
you trying to
I'm gonna be back.
manhandle the
I'm gonna be
ladies
back.
on ladies'
You hear me?
night?
How long you gonna be on?
Yeah,
How long
another
you gonna be
hour,
on? All right,
another
guys.
hour.
We'll be back. Try to get another topic for me. I ain't black, so I can't talk about it.
Right, you ain't black, you Mexican. Get
Yeah.
the hell out of here.
Right.
But anyway, again, I would really like to know why there is a divide amongst black men when it comes to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. The link is posted at the top of the chat, and I'm very curious to hear from other black men. I heard from Art, which is great, but I want to hear from other black men. And I'm not saying you have to be a fan of the WNBA or whatever the case may be. I know a lot of folks don't even watch the W like that. So it is what it is. But I do want to hear from other black men and why the divide is so great, because it definitely is a divide. And I would like to know why that is, because I find it odd and striking, that the divide exists. If you like a player, you like a player. If you don't like a player, you don't like a player. But when we start making it a political thing and a racial thing, like, why we got to go through all that? And again, I've never seen, so many black men ride so hard for a white person, just any white person, not Tom Brady, not, any white famous athlete you could think of. I've never seen black men ride so hard for a white athlete like they do Caitlin Clark. And, it's a misnomer to me because, I'm fans of Caitlin Clark and I'm also a fan of Angel Reese. Like, I like both of them. I'm a fan of both of them. So, and, there's not too many folks like me, who could like Caitlin Clark and like Angel Reese and have two things be true at the same time. I've noticed that it's either one or the other. Like, if you're a Caitlin Clark fan, then you must hate Angel Reese. Or if you're an Angel Reese fan, you must hate Caitlin Clark. And I don't think that's fair. I think we should just keep it basketball. What you value is what you value. If you value defense and rebounding, then you value defense and rebounding, then Angel Reese would be more your type of player. If you value scoring and playmaking, then yeah, Caitlin Clark will be more your type of player. But all of the vitriol is what I'm trying to get to. That's the main reason why I chose this topic, because I would like to get to the vitriol. Why is it so much hate when it doesn't have to be so much hate? When we could just keep it basketball. So, again, the link is at the top of the chat. I would like to hear from black men in particular. Like, share, subscribe to Cash App at the bottom of the screen. If for folks who want to donate or whatever, that's cool too. I was hoping to see some of the people, on that side of the fence that I be on. I would love to hear their opinions on this, but I ain't see none of them come in here yet. But I would love to see some of the people I see on that side, give their opinions on why you think this divide exists, because there's clearly a divide, and I want to get to the bottom of it. So, in terms of Caitlin Clark has brought millions of views to the W. That goes without saying. A lot of people started watching the W specifically for Caitlin Clark. because her game reminds a lot of people of Steph Curry, right? She shoots all the logo threes. She got handles. She's an excellent passer. She's an excellent passer. Like Caitlin Clark had a very high IQ when it comes to basketball. And she makes all of the right passes when she's out there on the floor. And people gravitate to that because, you know, her game is she has a really good game to her. You know, now, is she having a good year per se? No, she's not really having a great year like she did last year. Like last year, she had a phenomenal year. This year, she hasn't really been on the court too much to have the kind of year that she should be having. And plus, you know, the Fever are still winning despite her not being on the court. But Fever are going to struggle now because now the injury bug has really hit them. They done lost Sidney Cross for the year. They done lost Harry McDonald for the year. So now they don't have a point guard. They're playing 2 guards with Aaliyah Boston. So I don't know how long that's going to work. And as for the Chicago Sky, you know, Angel Reese, I think she done missed the last 5 games with a back injury. And the Sky wasn't really doing too well with Angel Reese on the court either. Like they were 7-13 with Angel Reese on the court. So can you say that she made a big, huge difference in them winning games? No. But has her game improved? Absolutely. Angel Reese last year couldn't get a bucket on her own. This year, she's able to get a bucket on her own. And when I mean on her own, I mean without people having to feed her, without people having to post her up. Angel Reese could go out there and get you a bucket now. Not something she was able to do last year. So in that aspect, her game has improved. Now, where has Caitlin Clark game improved from this year to last year? If anything, I think Caitlin Clark game has digressed because of her shooting walls, you know. But that's another story. And yeah, Caitlin Clark does have a high usage rate. And I tell people that all the time, you know, you're gonna have turnovers when you have the ball in your hands 80% of the time. Like that goes with the territory of having the ball in your hands 80% of the time. You know, you're gonna have turnovers. That comes with the territory. And now you just got to keep the turnovers to a minimum, or at least try to. Like you can't have 10 assists and have 10 turnovers and say that you had a good game, because that's a net zero. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't do it like that. Like now, if you have 10 assists and only 4 turnovers, then you had a great game. But if you had 10 assists and you had 10 turnovers, then you really just broke even. You didn't have you had a good game, but it wasn't a great game, because 10 turnovers is still 10 turnovers. And usually turnovers lead to points. So again, I would just like to know why the divide exists and why we just can't have, you know, people root for their players without having to disparage the other player. You know, I think it's a good question to have, and I would like an answer to it. You know, the link is pinned at the top of the chat for anybody who want to come up here and make that case. I would like to see it. I would like to see more, you know, fans, more casual fans, as Skywalker would say, watch the W and look at all of the talent that's in the league, because there's women in here in this league that could actually play. You know, I mentioned Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina Ionescu having an MVP year right now. She played the exact same position Caitlin Clark do, and she do a lot of the same things that Caitlin Clark do, and she was doing it before Caitlin Clark. And you know, she don't get the airtime and the views that a Caitlin Clark do, but Sabrina Ionescu was doing all this same stuff. She was shooting logo threes. She was getting triple doubles in college at Oregon, and you know, her game is very similar to Caitlin Clark. If anything, in my opinion, she got more of a bag than Caitlin Clark. if you want to be really honest, because Sabrina got a mid-range game. Caitlin Clark don't have a midi. Like, it's either a 3-point shot or it's going to the basket. You very rarely see Caitlin Clark pull up in the mid-range and shoot the ball from inside the 3-point line. You know, she needs to add that to her game, in my opinion. And I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, and I've been a Caitlin Clark fan. I've argued people down about Caitlin Clark. So I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, and I make no bones about that. But do she have work on her game? Yeah, she need to work on her game. You know, especially on the defensive end. Caitlin Clark is not a great defender, and she's never been a great defender. Yeah, will she get a couple of blocks here and there? Sure. Will she get a couple of steals here and there? Sure. But can she stay in front of a person? Not really. Yeah, not really. Whereas Angel Reese, I've critiqued her too. Like, offensively, Angel Reese has not been, you know, the greatest offensive threat. You know, she really still hasn't learned to shoot the ball, right? Like, she could get in the paint and give you something from 5 feet in. But if you put Angel Reese at the free throw line and tell her to shoot that shot, she's leery about shooting that shot, even though I think she needs to shoot that shot. But she don't want to shoot that shot. And that's because she understands that she hasn't developed a mid-range game. So I think her confidence when it comes to shooting that midi is holding her back. She could definitely be another Asia Wilson, you know, another Fee Collier, if she take her time and learn that mid-range shot, because they're going to give her that shot. You know what I mean? If you watch how people play Angel Reese, she attracts gravity, but the gravity she attracts is to keep her off the boards, not to keep her from scoring. Whereas Caitlin Clark gravity is to keep her from scoring. You know, she's getting blitzed at half court to get the ball out her hands. You know, where Angel Reese is getting blitzed in the paint to keep her off the boards. You know, it's two different kinds of blitzes. So, again, like, shares, subscribe. You know, the Cash App at the bottom of the screen if you want to donate. All donations are appreciated. And again, I would just love to see, you know, the people who are Angel Reese fans, black men in particular, and black men who are Caitlin Clark fans, come up here and tell me why you feel the way you feel. Why you can't, you know, be fans of both of them. Why it got to be a zero-sum game. You know, why you can't be fan of one and not the other. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's crazy work. You know, and forgive me, guys, if you send me a donation, if I can't read it because I'm on my phone. You understand what I'm saying? I'll see it after, and I'll let you know that I got it. You know what I mean? But I can't really see it, you know, and be on the phone at the same time. I'm trying to work my way up, you know, to get me a new laptop so I could do these things. But at the end of the day, I would love to hear from more black men. Black men, where you at, black men? Come tell me why we have so much vitriol. Why we so into Caitlin Clark, or why we so into Angel Reese, and why we can't just be fans of both. Yeah, Sleepless Society, I agree with that. Why we can't just be fans of both. And yeah, everybody loves the underdog. I agree with that. Everybody loves the underdog. The underdog, yeah, that's everybody loves the underdog. So yeah, I agree with that. Everybody loves the underdog. I love the underdog too. You know what I mean? We all root for the underdog, especially for me, especially during March Madness. That's when I'm really an underdog fan. Like during March Madness. King Camus. Yeah, I would rather root for the underdog, which is Reese, which is fine. Listen, I'm an Angel Reese fan too. You know, I'm an Angel Reese fan and a Caitlin Clark fan. So I just want to know why there's the vitriol, why we can't be Angel Reese, why Angel Reese fans have to disparage Caitlin Clark when praising Angel Reese, right? And why Caitlin Clark fans have to disparage Angel Reese while praising Caitlin Clark. That's my issue. And that's why I feel like there's a divide amongst black men, because on YouTube, and I only see it on YouTube, you know what I mean? The black men that run Caitlin Clark channels, they praise Caitlin Clark, but they do it at Angel Reese's expense. And the black men that run Angel Reese channels, they praise Angel Reese, but they disparage Caitlin Clark. You know what I mean? Like, why two things can't be true at the same time? That's my issue, and that's why I feel like it's a divide, because you shouldn't have to disparage one to praise the other. You understand what I'm saying? You could say all the glowing things you want about Caitlin Clark, but you don't have to say that Angel Reese is trash. Now, if she really was trash, you understand what I'm saying? If she was Kia Stokes is trash, okay? McGowan that they just let go of the wings, she was trash, right? Well, you want to talk about trash, there's plenty of trash people you could talk about, like, that are trash. Angel Reese is not trash. You don't average a double-double and be trash. Not in the W. That's not being trash. Now, let's keep it a buck. If you average 14 and 13 in the NBA, you're not considered trash. You're not considered a superstar, right? But you're not considered trash. So for people who say, oh, she only averaging 14 points a game, but she's giving me 12 rebounds a game, she's the only person in the W averaging a double-double. So how is that trash? That's not trash. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there are plenty of trash point guards out here in the WNBA. Like, Rachel Banham is trash. Kia Nurse is trash. You want to talk about people who are trash. Like I said, Kia Stokes is trash. You want to talk about trash. Angel McGowan, she's trash. Like, when you don't have numbers, your argument, then you can't be trash. Angel Reese has the numbers to support her argument to not be called trash. Like, I take offense to that, because you can't average a double-double and be called trash. And she's easily the greatest rebounder the W has ever seen. So just on that, you can't be trash. If you're the greatest rebounder the league has ever seen, there's no way you could be called trash, period. And that's just my personal opinion. And I think people call Angel Reese trash because, you know, offensively, she's limited, right? Her offensive skill set hasn't, you know, evolved just yet. But you got to remember, and as Caitlin Clark, defensive stuff hasn't evolved either, right? But you got to remember, both these women are only in their second year. It's not like they've been playing, they veterans, they've been playing 7-8 years. And yeah, Trinity Carter, my story of Trinity Carter was this. Nobody knew who Kennedy Carter was until she knocked Caitlin Clark to the ground, right? Nobody knew who Trinity Carter was until that incident. And when she did that last year, I was thinking in the back of my head, she made a business decision. Yeah, she might have been mad at the time because she had to, people don't remember, Caitlin Clark had elbowed her just the previous play before that. That's why she knocked her down. But she knocked her down, you know, in retaliation with the elbow that she had received the play before. But she also knocked her down because it was a business decision, I think, that Trinity Carter made. Whereas if I knock Caitlin Clark to the floor, people will see, that'll gain notoriety, and people will see that I could actually play this game. And Kennedy Carter, to her credit, the Sky are missing her right now. I think any Chicago Sky fan would absolutely love to have Trinity Carter back on their team right now, because Trinity Carter was a walking bucket. Truth be told, like, that girl could get a bucket, and she could beat you off the dribble. She had a mid-range. Like, she in Mexico right now doing her thing. Like, and she belongs in the league, in my opinion. Like, there's no reason why none of these WNBA teams picked up Trinity Carter. There's no good reason for that. Just no good reason. I don't agree with it. I think the league blackballed her for unknown reasons, you know, that I won't ever really understand or know or I'm privy to. I don't understand why that is, why Kennedy Carter is getting such a backlash. I'm still trying to figure that out. I haven't really figured that out yet, but it is what it is. But again, I would love to hear from more Black men about this divide that I see. And I only really see it on the social media. I don't see it in real life, you know, because in real life, a lot of people, you know what I mean, especially the folks that I know that I work with, a lot of them don't even watch the WNBA. So like when I'm around, you know, people, a lot of folks don't even watch the W like that. So I can't really have a real, you know, conversation about, you know, the W with a lot of folks, because a lot of folks aren't watching the games. They only watch what they see on the social media, and they take those opinions and make them their own opinions without actually watching the games. Like, that be my thing. Like, if you got you always entitled to having your own opinion. That's fine. But at least watch the game. If you're gonna have an opinion, watch the game to have that opinion. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just don't have an opinion just off the simple fact that you getting opinions off of other people shows and using their opinions and just creating your own opinion off other people's opinions. That's not having a real opinion. That's just parroting somebody else's opinion. That's my thing. Like, if you're gonna have an opinion, you know, have some stuff to go with that opinion. Watch the actual game. And then you can then I could take your opinion more seriously when you actually watch the game. If you watch the game, then you could have your opinion. And your opinion will be more valid to me personally as somebody who actually watches the game. But we will see. We will definitely see. But yeah, I would love to have more opinions of Black men and why they feel like, you know, you got to praise one while disparaging the other. And I would like to hear more opinions on that. I'm here. The chat is here. The link is at the top of the chat. If you want to come up, you know, everybody's welcome. You know, I don't like pick and choose. You know, but I specifically today, I want to hear from Black men. And I want to hear why Black men feel the way they do about Caitlin Clark and why they feel the way they do about Angel Reese. Yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on that. So here I am. There's Big Dog Sports. You know, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Get the likes up. You know, help me in the algorithm. And you know, like, you know, the two guys that was on here before, they have a nice show. It's called The Gospel of Bob. You know, I'm a contributor to that show as well. And they do a great job over there. And you know, I would one day would like to be like them, but unfortunately for me, you know, I have some other stuff going on in my real life that I don't get to dedicate myself to the YouTube stuff like how others do. So basically, I primarily just go live on Sundays. I might go live on a Saturday every once in a while. But primarily I go live on Sundays. And so you'll catch me every Sunday at 11 o'clock. And I don't want to just talk about, basketball, football season starting. I'll talk football. I talk wrestling. I'm gonna do a baseball show too because I love baseball. I watch the boys this summer. I also watch soccer. I watch Premier League. I watch La Liga. I watch racing. I do NASCAR and F1 too. But the only thing about when you're dealing with those certain subgroups, like you can't have an overall sports show. You know what I mean? You usually have to stick to a specific topic. But I think I'm going to change that up and just have a medley of topics where we could talk about any sport. But I just wanted to address this one particular issue because I think it's important. And I think that there's definitely a divide amongst, black men when it comes to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And I would like to see that addressed. And I want to hear from more black men about why the divide exist. And is it racial? Is it social? Or is it misogynistic? Or is it basketball? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I want to know. Because I think it's a medley of a whole bunch of things. I don't think it's just one thing. I think it's a sum total of a bunch of stuff. But I'm really at a loss, and I would really like to know, like, why that is, why we have this divide amongst black men in particular, because there is no divide amongst black women. Like, there's no divide. The divide among black women is like 95-5. If you ask black women who they for, it's Angel Reese, 95%. It's Angel Reese. It's Caitlin Clark. Most black women don't want to deal with Caitlin Clark, regardless of how she performs or all that. You have a few black women that are Caitlin Clark fans, but not many. When it comes to black women, it's Angel Reese, and that's it. And they don't want to hear nothing about nothing. But as black men is where the real divide is. And I want to get to the bottom of it. And that was my whole purpose of doing this show today, was to get to the bottom of the black man divide of between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and why there's such vitriol when it comes to that. I would like to know. And I be on the other side. I be on both sides, really. I go to Caitlin Clark channels and listen to them. And I also go to Angel Reese channels and I listen to them. And I think, there's a divide, and I would like to get to the bottom of it. So maybe eventually I'll get some folks to come up here and give me their opinion on why the divide is like how it is.
Please stop it.
So we're going to see. And I'm here. The comments, y'all leave y'all comments. Y'all hit the link at the top of the screen, and I really want to get into why there's a divide, and I would really love to hear from black men on why there's a divide. I hate to sound like I'm repeating myself, but I want to address it. Khan, what's good with you, brother? Yeah, I was just up here talking about the divide between black men when it comes to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And I would like to know, like, why there's a divide amongst, black men when it comes to these people. Because there's definitely a divide and it exists. And I would really like to know. 1 second, y'all. The divide I'm referring to is between black men, because you have a lot of black men that are Caitlin Clark fans, and you got a lot of black men that are Angel Reese fans. But the divide exists because you can't be a fan of one and not the other. You understand what I'm saying? It's hard to be a fan of both. Like me, I'm a fan of both. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan and I'm an Angel Reese fan. But I've noticed, especially in the YouTube streets, that you can't be a fan of both. If you're a Caitlin Clark fan, you want to hate Angel Reese. And if you're an Angel Reese fan, you gotta hate Caitlin Clark. And my thing is, why you just can't be fans of both? You understand what I'm saying? Like, why you can't be a fan of both is my thing. And Henry, I see you, brother. How are you doing this morning? Black men can be yeah, I'm describing, I'm not describing men in general. No, this is black men I'm describing. And I'm describing black men because this is what I see in the YouTube streets. I don't see this in real life, because in real life, a lot of people don't watch the W for me to have this opinion in real life. But in the YouTube streets, yeah, there's definitely a divide in the YouTube streets. In the YouTube streets, it's real crazy because, like, you can't be both. Unfortunately, you can't be a Caitlin Clark fan and an Angel Reese fan at the same time. Like, and I noticed a lot of people, especially on the Caitlin Clark side of things, they praise Caitlin Clark, but they want to disparage Angel Reese while praising Caitlin Clark. And you see this on the other side too. You see people who are fans of Angel Reese, but they fans of Angel Reese, they want to praise Angel Reese while disparaging Caitlin Clark, right? Like, why we got to be like that is my question. Like, why we just can't enjoy both these ladies and what they do on the basketball court? Because let's be honest, they have two completely different skill sets. One skill set is about scoring and playmaking. The other skill set is about defense and rebounding. So, like, why we just can't be both? Why we can't be fans of both? Why we got to disparage one to praise the other and vice versa? Yeah, I know. With boxing, though, it's a little different with boxing, because one, boxing is not a team sport. So it's a little easier to dissect the boxing, because we are dealing with individuals. We're not dealing with teams. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. It could be a human being thing, but I'm specifically talking about YouTube. What I hear on YouTube, it's a divide on YouTube when it comes to the Caitlin Clark contingent and the Angel Reese contingent. On YouTube, there's definitely a divide. I just finished saying, in real life, I don't see the divide at all, because in real life, a lot of folks in real life don't watch the WNBA. So we don't, you know what I mean? It don't really have in real life, a lot of folks aren't watching the WNBA. Matter of fact, I find more fans on YouTube who watch the WNBA than I encounter in my real life. In my real everyday life, I don't encounter people just who just watch the W. Like I could walk down the street right now and ask a person who player, and they would look, I'm crazy. But to your point, Con, I could walk down the street and ask anybody who's Manny Pacquiao. They're gonna know who Manny Pac. 9 out of every 10 people I ask are gonna know who Manny Pacquiao is, even though they don't watch boxing. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference. Like, people know who Pacquiao is. People know who Manny is. People know who Mayweather is. And speaking of the Floyd that fight, Con, that fight had me so enraged. That Pacquiao Manny Floyd Mayweather fight, I was so upset that I paid $100 for that shit to watch Floyd Mayweather run for 8 rounds. Like, I was heated. I was heated because it was the last super fight that I ever bought. I never bought another one after that. The Pacquiao Mayweather fight was the last fight that I actually paid for. And I was pissed that I paid $100, you know, to watch Floyd Mayweather run for 8 rounds. Because the first 4 rounds, he tried to fight, and then Pacquiao hit him with that right and stumbled him, and he ran for the rest of the fight. And, you know, he just refused to engage Pacquiao. And that made me mad because, you know, Floyd Mayweather supposed to be a GOAT. Yeah, it was very lackluster. But at least Pacquiao was trying to fight. Hold on, Con. I meant to do this for you. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. I mean, it was like the Pacquiao thing, the Mayweather thing, like it pissed me off. But I am happy that boxing is making a comeback, though. Yeah, I'm happy that boxing's making a comeback. Like, you got the fight in September with Bud and Canelo. Like, I think that's going to be I think they're going to be a good fight. But my thing about Bud, he has to gain so much weight. Like, Canelo been fighting at that weight. I think Bud is going to struggle at that weight. That 168, you know, he's really he really a 154 guy. He's not a 168 guy. So I don't know how his body is going to respond to that extra weight. Yeah, I don't know how Bud's body is going to respond to that extra weight fighting at 168. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like, we will see. I think it's still going to be a good fight, though. I think Tank gonna beat Tank. If Tank and Stevenson fight, I think that'll be a good fight too. I would love to see that fight, Tank and Stevenson. Let me see. It's a 0 to 100 issue. Bud never fought at 168, and he's gonna be right to be the best guy. Well, we will see. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how Bud's body is gonna respond to the extra weight, is all I'm saying. I know he's never fought at 168, so we will definitely see. Yeah, we will definitely see how his body responds to that extra weight. But is that going to be a good fight? Yes. And do I want to get that fight? I'm debating if I want to pay for it. But I'm definitely going to try to do my best to watch it. If I could do it for free, I'm going to do it for free. Yeah, weight classes do matter, though. I'm a strong believer in weight classes. I don't think a guy at 168 should be fighting a guy at 140. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my personal opinion. I don't think, you know, weight classes should matter. They definitely should matter. Definitely should matter. Okay, Henry. I have seen every time Kelsey Mitchell had a good or great game, it is followed by negativity like she can't pass, she's not a leader, she's a ball hog, and etc. A lot of these comments came from black males. One, hey, look, I agree with that. Listen, Kelsey Mitchell is a baller. You know, I love Kelsey Mitchell, but I still don't think she's the best player on the Fever. I still think Caitlin Clark is the best player, but Kelsey Mitchell is definitely a baller. And is she carrying the Fever right now? Yeah, because she don't have a choice. Sugar Ray Robinson. Remember Sugar Ray Robinson? He was likely the best to ever do it, and he failed when he tried to move up to light heavyweight. Yes, he did. He failed miserably. But him as a middleweight, man, Ray Robinson as a middleweight, wasn't nobody really messing with him. Not for real. I mean, LaMotta got lucky. Let's call ace and spade a spade because Ray Robinson wanted to brawl with him instead of just fighting his fight. So Jake LaMotta got lucky, in my opinion. I think there's no way Sugar Ray Robinson should have lost to Jake LaMotta. No way. But I think, you know, Ray Robinson, his ego got in the way and he thought he could brawl with Jake LaMotta, and that's why he ended up getting beat up. But yeah, in terms of boxing, just pure boxing, yeah, Ray Robinson is one of the best who ever did it. Ever. And it's a shame that he, you know what I mean, that he fought in the 50s and that people didn't really get to watch him. Like, you know, you ain't had the TV and all that back then for people to really watch him. Right. That's what I'm saying. LaMotta caught him early, but Ray Robinson should have boxed him. He could have just boxed LaMotta to death. LaMotta didn't have the speed to keep up with no Ray Robinson like that. It's just Ray Robinson chose to have a brawling match with him. Almost like it kind, you know, kind of like history repeating itself. Ray Leonard did the same thing the first time he fought Roberto Duran. Remember? If you remember that first Sugar Ray Leonard Roberto Duran fight, Sugar Ray Leonard was trying to brawl with Roberto Duran, and that didn't work out well for him. But you seen the second fight where he boxed the shit out of Duran. He made Duran quit because he couldn't keep up with Ray Leonard. You know, it's all about, you know, sometimes boxing, you know, they get into their egos where they feel like, oh, I could brawl with this guy. He ain't doing it like that. Yeah, I know. And Ray Robinson beat LaMotta ass the next time he fought him. He beat his ass. Because at the end of the day, there was really no reason Robinson should have lost to LaMotta in the first place. He was far more skilled than Jake LaMotta. Far more skilled, like not even close. Jake LaMotta was pretty much a brawler, and that's all he could do was brawl. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I brought. Leonard made the same exact mistake, trying to get into a brawl with Roberto Duran, and that didn't work out well for him the first time. But you see, the second fight, he boxed Duran to death and made him quit because, you know, he stuck to his game plan. He boxed him, and, you know, Durant ain't have nothing for him. He ain't had nothing for him. And Durant is one of my favorites too, the Hands of Stone. Yeah, Duran was one of my guys. Listen, that whole middleweight division, early mid-'80s that had Duran, Leonard, Hagler, Hearns, you know, that Barkley, like that whole middleweight division back then, that was like the golden age of middleweight boxing. You know, the early to mid-'80s middleweight class in boxing, that was like the golden age because you had so many fights. Like, I still think that Hearns Hagler fight was a classic, even though it didn't last long. But man, was that a great fight. Them two dudes, they were really fighting. Like fighting. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is common for female boxers. Yeah. You don't have a lot of female boxers that's just knocking people out like that. Yeah, that is common for the women. They're not knocking each other out like that. But Carissa Shields is the GOAT. when it comes to the female boxing. There is no better female boxer than Carissa Shields. I mean, you got some that are up and coming right now, right? You got some that are up and coming thanks to Jake Paul and his little ventures that he doing. I forget, you have Bumgardner, I think her name is. She's pretty good. But a lot of them are fight Shields because Shields is just, she's that girl. And Bumgardner, as good as Bumgardner looks, she too small for Carissa Shields right now. She would have to gain like another 20, 25 pounds to fight Carissa Shields, and I don't see her doing that. Yeah, I don't want to. I did a whole video about that, the Layla Ali Carissa Shields thing. I don't want to see that fight, even though it would be great for women's boxing, right? People would pay to see that fight because of the name recognition. But me personally, I don't want to see that fight. Layla Ali, 48 years old, I think. Carissa Shields, 30. Like, that'll be a mismatch beyond all mismatches. Layla Ali need to stay her ass on the Food Network and do her little celebrity chef show and leave it at that. She don't need to get back in the ring, let alone get back in the ring and fight a Carissa Shields. Hell no. Hey, Miss D, I was having a conversation about the divide amongst black men when it comes to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Now, as for black women aren't divided at all. 95% of black women are Angel Reese fans. That's just a fact. You understand what I'm saying? There is no divide when it comes to black women. It's when it comes to black men. That's where we have the divide. You know, and I think the divide is a little bit more than just, you know, basketball. I think a lot of these men play it off as basketball, but a lot of it has nothing to do with basketball. I think a lot of it is political. A lot of it is social. Some of it is misogyny. Some of it is just wanting to humble a black woman. You understand what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of factors in that because you could be a fan of a player without having disparaged the other player to make your point. Like, I go on Caitlin Clark channels and they praise Caitlin Clark, Caitlin this and Caitlin that, but they praise Caitlin, but at the same time, they want to disparage Angel while trying to praise Caitlin. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't understand the gist of that. And you see it on the other side too. You have Angel Reese fans that they can't just be Angel Reese fans. They want to disparage Caitlin Clark while praising Angel Reese. Like, why can't you just praise Angel Reese and leave Caitlin Clark out of it? Why you can't just praise Caitlin Clark and leave Angel Reese out of it? You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's where I think the divide is. Yeah, like you got, like, let me read your comment. You said it's weird. I don't think there's a big divide. You have some men who clout chase Caitlin and some who are fans of both Caitlin and Angel. Like me, like I'm fans of both Caitlin and Angel. And yeah, there is a lot of clout chasing. You damn right about that. It's a lot of clout chasing because, you know, people want to get likes and people want to get views. And I understand, you know, that the YouTube thing is how it was explained to me this morning. It's about content, right? It's about making content. It's not really about how you really feel. It's about how edgy you can be, how much vitriol you can get out of people. You understand what I'm saying? How much smoke you can get out of people to get your likes up, to get your views up, but not so much as to, you know, the basketball. Like me, I'm pretty simple. I want to stick to the basketball. Praise Angel Reese and just praise Angel Reese. If that's what you want to do, praise Caitlin Clark. Praise Caitlin Clark. That's what you want to do. But to praise Angel Reese and put down Caitlin Clark while you praising Angel Reese, I think that's silly. To praise Caitlin Clark while disparaging Angel Reese, I think that's also silly. Like, why we got to make it a racial thing? Why we got to be sexist about it? You know what I mean? Well, Sleepless Society is not the same with Jordan and LeBron. With Jordan and LeBron, but you're dealing with two black men. So it's not a racial thing when it comes to Jordan and LeBron. With Jordan and LeBron, it's strictly it's a basketball thing, 75% of it, and the other 25% of it would be a social thing. But it's definitely with Jordan and LeBron, it's not a racial thing. See, with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, is definitely a racial thing. And for the men in particular, it's a misogyny thing. It's to me, and this is just my personal opinion. Like, I think the Caitlin Clark people that praise Caitlin Clark and disparage Angel Reese, they disparage Angel Reese because they want to try to humble a black woman. You understand what I'm saying? I think that's what it basically boils down to. It's not that they want to call Angel Reese trash, but her numbers don't reflect that. You can't be trash and average a double-double. Like, you want to call somebody trash, call Kia Stokes trash, call Angel McGowan trash. You understand what I'm saying? You want to talk about trash, they're trash. You understand what I'm saying? Elizabeth Williams, she's trash. You understand what I'm saying? Like, to call Angel Reese trash and she's averaging a double-double, like, you don't know what you're talking about. In my opinion, like that's a foolish argument. You can't average a double-double and be trash. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, as far as the women boxing, yeah, they don't need to go over 10 rounds. Over 10 rounds is too much for a woman. 10 rounds is fine for a woman. Anything past 10 rounds is too much. And yeah, Hurley T, this is my problem that I have with, the divide that I see on YouTube streets is that, they feel threatened. Like, if you feel threatened by a black woman, just say that. You don't got to beat around the bush. You understand what I'm saying? If you feel like you're superior and that black men are superior to black women, then just say that. Yo, Kev, what's good with you, brother? Just say that. Don't beat around the bush. You understand what I'm saying? If you feel like, black men are superior, we're the dominant ones and all that, just say that. But, to beat around the bush and act like you're not being misogynistic and you not, what I mean? You don't feel a way about black women is disingenuous, in my opinion. If you feel like, the black man is superior and that black women should be underneath you and they should know their role, say that. But don't act like, that's not how you feel. And you use the basketball to circumvent those real feelings that you have, because you're not even watching the basketball for real. That'd be my thing. It'd be different if you were watching the games, because if you were watching the games, you wouldn't feel this way. You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of these folks, they're not even watching the games like that. Now, you got some folks that are watching the games, right? But they're watching the games through a rose-colored lens. They see what they want to see. Like, I see the ink. What's going on, brother? For all y'all just coming into the chat, this your boy Big Dog Sports. Where sports and politics collide. Like, share, sub. The Cash App at the bottom of the screen for anybody who want to donate. I appreciate it. And we in here, man. I've been on here 2 hours now, trying to figure out, why we have such division amongst black men when it comes to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And I've been trying to figure that out for a minute because, I think that there's a lot of misogyny involved. I don't think it has anything to do with the basketball. I think it has to do that black men feel a certain way about black women. And they just don't want to address that part of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you see a strong black woman and it's like, you need to know your role. Like, you need to be in the kitchen making me a sandwich type stuff. Like, you're beneath me. So if you feel that way, just say that. But don't use the basketball to express your misogynistic views of black women. You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna talk basketball, right? Don't bring all the other stuff into it. Yeah, con that part. There's a lot of insecurity, and I think there's a lot of black men, especially on the Caitlin Clark side of things, that are insecure, about how they feel about black women. So they use the basketball and the misogyny, and they clout chase the Caitlin Clarks of the world. When you got other guards out here who are white that are playing better than Caitlin Clark right now. Why you don't have this same energy for Sabrina Ionescu, who's having an MVP year right now? This woman is having an MVP season right now. But you don't see these same people that praise Caitlin Clark praising Sabrina Ionescu. You don't see that. So don't tell me it's a white and black thing. You know what I mean? Because if that was the case, you would see the same praise for Sabrina Ionescu that you see for Caitlin Clark. You would see the exact same praise. And we want to be technical. Sabrina's having a far better year than Caitlin Clark. She's having a better year than Angel Reese, for real. Like, she's having an MVP campaign, but you don't hear nobody talk about Sabrina like that. And her game is very similar to Caitlin Clark. In fact, if you ask me, she has a better bag than Caitlin Clark. If you want to be technical, Sabrina has a mid-range. She can pass the ball. She shoots the logo three, and she tries to play defense. But you know, there's no hype for Sabrina like that. She don't get the likes and the views, and she don't create the controversy and the vitriol that Caitlin Clark does. And Lena, I see you, Mama. Good morning to you. And I know you an Angel Reese fan, and I'm an Angel Reese fan too. Listen, I'm an Angel Reese fan too. You know, I argue with Skywalker all the time about Angel Reese because he likes to call her trash. And I keep trying to explain to him, you don't watch the games, so the numbers don't coincide with what you're saying. Now, do you like her style of play? That's fine. You might not like her style of play. It might look ugly to you. I'm not saying that Angel Reese's style of play is aesthetically pleasing, because for most folks, it's not aesthetically pleasing. Caitlin Clark's style of play is more aesthetically pleasing than Angel Reese's style of play. That's just being honest, right? Angel Reese don't mind putting her body on people. You understand what I'm saying? She play physical, and that's not aesthetically pleasing for a lot of men. It's just not. Where Caitlin Clark's style is aesthetically pleasing because she's pulling up from the logo, because she's crossing people up, right? So that's aesthetically pleasing for a lot of folks. Let me respond to your comment. Sleepless Society. I hope it doesn't go against the rules of the podcast, but I would like to hear your opinion on the good hip hop that has been coming out. I know you have just as much knowledge of that as sport. Yeah, I'm a hip hop person. Don't get me wrong, but I put it to you like this. Today's rap music, I'm not a fan of. Now, I could do some of the R&B, but the rap, I can't. It's hard for me to get into the rap music of this generation. It's just because a lot of them I can't understand what they're talking about because they're mumbling. And then you got some of them that don't know that they want to be singers or rappers. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of them ain't talking about nothing. They talking about getting high and you know what I mean, popping pills and all that other shit. Like the gangster rap that I grew up on in the 90s. Right? Yeah, they were talking about, you know, drugs and guns and all that stuff, but at least they were talking about stuff that people were actually really seeing and experiencing in their real lives. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in the projects in New York City, so guns and drugs, that was just regular shit. And people were talking about, you know, guns and drugs because that's what they grew up with. That's what they were around. You know, a lot of these folks, like I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but like when the Migos first came out, the Migos was a big, huge thing when they first came out, you know, like mid 2000s, right? When they first came out, and they were talking about, you know, whipping it and cooking cooking and, you know, pills and all that stuff, to come to find out that, you know, and this is how I found out about how the Migos weren't practicing what they were preaching. I had a coworker that I used to work with. Matter of fact, not just one coworker, but two coworkers that used to work on my job, right? And both of them went to high school with the Migos, and one of them was actually close friends with Offset, right? And these kids didn't grow up in that environment that they were rapping about. They didn't grow up in that. So what they were rapping about and what they grew up in was two completely different things. So really they was faking the funk. You understand what I'm saying? They was talking about stuff that they didn't experience. Like, say what you want about, you know, the 90s rappers, the Nas's, the Jay-Z's, the Biggie Smalls, right? The Tupacs. Say what you want about them, but those folks actually were living what they were talking about. You understand what I'm saying? They were living it. The Mobb Deeps of the world, you know what I'm saying? They were living in the projects. They were living in the environment that they were rapping about. So for them, it was more authentic. Like these guys that's out here now, a lot of them ain't living what they rapping about. Some of them are. You understand? I'm not going to paint all of them with a broad brush. Some of them are living that life. You know, understand what I'm saying? But a lot of them are not. A lot of them are just, you know, parroting stuff that they hear or see on social media. Because a lot of these kids, a lot of these 20-somethings, they don't go outside to experience anything. They live their life through the cell phone. You understand what I'm saying? Their life is through the cell phone. They're not going outside. Yeah, the whole music thing in general, I just, you know what I mean? Like there's certain R&B songs I could listen to that have, you know, that have been decent, that have came out recently, you know what I mean? There's certain artists I could do. Like I could listen to her, you know, H.E.R. I could listen to her, right? I think she's a really good artist because she play instruments and sing, you know, like her, I could do her. Coco Jones, I could do her too. Like she's a very good singer. You know, I've always been a fan of Lizzo. I think Lizzo is very talented. But in terms of the rappers, I can't really get into the rappers of this era like that. Like, you know, you have your little babies and the babies, right? You have No Cap, you have Rob Wave, you know, Young Blue. You know, you got certain guys that come out with certain things, but overall, you know, the Futures of the world and all that, I just give me my 90s, early 2000s rap, and I'll be okay with that, bro. I really can't stomach the rapper today. Yeah, Clips, I fucked with the Clips. Like what happened to that boy, that was my song. But that's another story. In terms of that, like the hip hop of today, there only a handful of artists I can listen to. But in terms of the whole genre as a whole, I can't do it. If anything, the genre that's gotten the most traction to me, I think, is country music. The country music has gotten far, far better now than it was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Like right now, I can listen to the country music right now because the country music, they actually talking about something. They actually singing about something right now. Like Tennessee Whiskey, I know Tennessee Whiskey came out a couple of years ago, but that's one of the prettiest songs you will ever hear. Man, that's I think Chris Stapleton sings that song, Tennessee Whiskey. Yeah, Tennessee Whiskey, that song go hard, bro. For a country song, like that's one of the prettiest songs you will ever hear, ever. But yeah, y'all, for all y'all that's in the comments, you know, the link is at the top of the chat if you want to come up and you know, like, share, subscribe. The Cash App at the bottom of the screen if you want to donate. That's cool too. And yeah, man, we in here, man. I know I'm moving a little bit faster than normal. You know, I've been on here, I think, about 2 hours now, which is a little long for me because usually I try to stop at 2 hours, but I'm having a good time just talking. You know, my original topic was, you know, the divide amongst black men between Caitlin Clark fans and Angel Reese fans. But, you know, we see. Okay. Oh, Juan, you're back.
Yeah. What's up, bro?
Hey, Juan, what's going on with you? I got your app, man. Thank you so much for the support, brother. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. I got a quick question for you. I got like a little pitch for you, if you don't mind.
What's that? No, I don't mind at all.
So, man, like it's like one of those things where with sports, but you bring like a little bit of the, because I mean it's 2025. You know, we're OGs. We don't expect sports to stay the way they are. You know, like every other 10 years, it's changing, especially with technology. So, like, you bring in the social aspect, you know, aspect of the what goes on out here in the real world into sports. So, man, do you mind if I invest in you and like grow the channel with you? Like I can be in the background. Yeah,
not at all. You
Okay,
could do
'cause I
for
like-
me what I do for the gospel. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but don't treat me like a slave. Bob over there treats them like slaves.
Nah, but you know, the thing about me is, you know, like you see how Skywalker and Earth, how they could go stream every single day, right?
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah.
I can't stream every single day because, you know, I have an autistic kid here that requires a lot of my attention. You understand what I'm saying?
I have a cousin like that. Yeah, I get it.
So unfortunately, I can't just be on here like that, like how they could be on there and, you know, dedicate a lot of their time, right? I can't dedicate a lot of my time. Like I can only go live on Sundays. Like I can make videos and all that stuff during the week or whatever, but the whole streaming thing, I can't do it like that on an everyday basis. You know what I mean? Because I still got to work. And then I still got to, you know, get my daughter back and forth to school and do ABA and all that other stuff during the week. I just don't, there's not enough hours in the day for me to totally dedicate myself.
I think we can figure it out, though. I mean, with sports, everything is scheduling with sports anyway. It's not like you like talk about every single game that happens. You know, like I mean, especially with the NFL, it's on a Sunday, and then Monday. Yeah. Boxing is only once maybe Fridays, Saturdays, and then basketball. You know, with the NBA is more of a gossipy. Like, what happened? What's the story that happened? So,
well, I think what I'm gonna start doing instead of doing individual topics, I think I'm gonna just start doing like a medley of like next time I make my thumbnail or whatever, instead of making an individual topic like I did today, I'm gonna just be like all sports talk where it could be anything. You understand what I'm saying? And we could talk about anything, and wherever the conversation goes is just wherever the conversation goes, because I watch all sports. I'm not limited to just basketball and football. You understand what I'm saying? I watch boxing, I watch UFC, I watch car racing, I watch F1 and NASCAR. You understand what I'm saying? Like I watch tennis. You understand what I'm saying? I watch wrestling too.
I just got into the F1 racing, and so the not the NASCAR part of it, like the where like it's always the loop, more the what's that one where they go to cities and then they make the track out of like the normal roads, the regular roads, the highways.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The F1 stuff is wild.
Yep, I got into all that here lately,
bro.
Yeah, dude. So let me I'll see if I can get your information somehow. And then we can set something up, man. That way we can get everything set up that you need for sports wise, and then we can talk.
Right, because all I need is I just need to, like, you know, learn how to research different links and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? To know what to look for, know what topics I want to talk about, because I got the knowledge in my head. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, it's just trying to keep up with the current events. You know, it's just hard to do when you're dealing with an autistic child. You know, I'd be trying to get folks to understand that dealing with an autistic child is a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. We had one. I think he didn't live in the neighborhood or anything, but there was a child in the middle of the road, and he was waving his hands in the air, and like some of the drivers didn't really understand
Right.
what was going on. He was autistic, so my brother and I, we got out and we did the hand thing with him when he was waving his hands in the air. We let him play with our phones until like one of the parents got there. It's not so much about looking and what's going on. It's to people, it's not normal, but to them, it's
Right.
normal. It's just that they don't have
But to
like
them, it's
full control of
normal.
their body.
Right.
Yeah, and then you
Right.
just have to
And
understand it.
then,
Yep. So that
you have to understand it. You have to understand that there are levels to the spectrum. You understand what I'm
yep,
saying? There are levels to it. Like you look at a guy like you remember 111 from CT channel, right? He's very low on the spectrum,
yeah,
meaning he can function like a regular person. He just a little bit off, but he
yep,
not all the way off where he can't function as a regular
yep,
person. Where then you take somebody like a Noel, right?
yeah,
Who's high on the spectrum and cannot function
yeah,
like a regular person.
yeah,
Like my daughter is like Noel.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah. That's what my
there's gonna come a point, when my daughter's an adult, she's still gonna be living with me as an
yeah, my
adult.
cousin's like
You know what
111.
I'm saying?
He really doesn't know the consequences of the things she says and does.
Right. But
So, but
but
it's
there are
that's
levels
normal.
to it, is what I'm saying. Like there are levels to this. Like 111 can function where Noel can't function. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like Noel's gonna have to be taken care of for the rest of her life by an adult.
yeah. Then
She's never
CT's gonna
going to
go to
be
hell.
able to live. She's never going to be able to live on her own, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
111 could live on his own and be okay.
yeah,
He might need a little bit of help, but he's not gonna. He's still gonna be able to function okay by himself. Like
yeah,
Noelle not gonna be able to go grocery shopping on her own. You
yeah,
understand what I'm
yeah,
saying? She's not going to be able to do the basic
yeah,
stuff on her own. Whereas
yeah,
111 could do the basic stuff on his own. He
yeah,
could go grocery shopping by himself. He don't need a
yep,
chaperone. Where
yep,
Noelle need a chaperone, even though she's 30 something
yep.
years old. You
And then
understand what I'm saying?
some people take it as like that person has a heck of a day. It's like, no, it's a privilege, man. It's like, you don't understand. It's like, it's not just like so much like out in public. When I take my my cousin out in public, he and she, it's usually I'm enjoying my time with them. It's like the only people that you deal with is the adults, more adults than children. Adults are more. I was
Right.
like, dude, you're a grown ass person. Like read the fucking room.
Yeah,
It's like
that
it's one of
part.
those issues. But
Like, CT, I know he let Noelle here. I put my email in the back chat, Juan. If you want to send it through my email,
yeah,
it's
I can do that.
fine. But yeah, I be telling CT. I know he let Noel on his chat because he likes the content view of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But me, like I had the same. Like there's a guy who comes on my chat. His name is Brandon Looney Tunes, right?
yeah,
And he's also, what I mean, on the spectrum. You
I
understand
know
what
you're
I'm
talking
saying?
about. Yeah,
Yeah, and I let him up. You understand what I'm saying? Even though he could never talk about whatever subject I'm talking about, he can't never chime in the conversation like that. But I let him
yeah.
up anyway because I understand him. You
You
understand what I'm
treat them
saying? I
equal. Yeah, yeah.
understand.
You treat them equally.
Yeah,
Yep.
I treat him equally. You understand what I'm saying? Because I understand that he's on the spectrum. He reminds me a lot of my kid. You understand
Yep.
what I'm saying? So I understand where he's coming from. It's just,
And
I can't protect him all the time.
I know some people get offended when when CT does it, but it's like honestly, he's not doing anything. He's just treating everybody normal. That's what
Yeah,
you're
he's just
supposed to do.
treating them because that's all they want. They want to be
Yeah.
treated like normal people.
Yeah.
At the end of the
Yep.
day, they want to be treated like human beings. They
Yep.
don't want to be treated like, like you got to feel sorry for them. They're not
Nah.
looking for your sympathy. That's
No,
not
it's
what they're
like
looking for. They want to be normal and they want to
it's like
be
when
treated normal.
we're all gonna get old, and like with my, how you have your grandparents before they passed away, and their
Right.
kids treated them like they couldn't do anything, and like how they would always argue with with their old grandparents. Let me do what I want. I was like, I can do it on my own. It's one of those things. We're all gonna get old, and we're all gonna get treated that way. So we're gonna have that feeling. So like,
Yep.
before we get old, you gotta treat everybody equally. I mean, it's not like,
Yeah, you got to
I mean,
treat
honestly,
everybody
man, I
equally.
have family members that have missing limbs, on the, like, mentally retarded and all this and this and that. But dude, like just watching them and do their daily tasks is like we have nothing to complain about.
Right. Like Brandon, like Ink said, Brandon Looney Tunes, that man got 5K subs.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
doing something right. The man got
Yeah.
5K subs. So, more props to him. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said,
Yeah.
I mess with Brandon. You understand what I'm saying? Like I could talk cartoons with Brandon. I could talk, video games with Brandon. Because, when you that high on the spectrum, your body say you're 25, 30 years old,
Yep.
but your mind, you're only like 12, 13
Yep.
in the mind. You understand what
that's
I'm
what.
saying?
Yep.
And I think that's where
Yeah.
folks get it confused. They see that folks are aged physically and they think that their minds are the same age as their bodies. And it don't work that way for autistic kids. For autistic people, it
No.
don't work that way. Like you could be 30 years old in the body, but only 12 in the mind. Like Noelle is a 12-year-old girl in her mind, even though she's 30 years old in the body. But in her
Yep.
mind, she's only 12. So you got
See,
to
I have
talk to her like she's 12
I have this thing where I know
for her
I
to
never got
understand
tested
what
for
you're
it.
saying.
But I'm pretty sure I have ADD because anywhere where I go, I always look to see where the exits are. I always look to see who's behind me. I
Shit,
don't
me
like people
too.
behind me, and
Me
I'm
either.
like
I'm
that's
very
why a lot of my
uncomfortable with people
marriage
behind
didn't
me.
work when I was married because she was like,
Right.
"Are you looking at other women?" Like, nah. I'm like looking at to see where the exits are, and I don't like people behind me. And I'm honestly like it was just like a paranoia and like I know I'm pretty sure there's something there, like, but it was always that anywhere where I go to like a
Now,
crowded
listen,
area, I have to see what's
there
there.
ain't nothing wrong with me mentally, right? But I don't like people behind me either. That's a pet peeve of mine. I always look at, I don't like people behind me. I'm a New Yorker, so I'm used to, crowds of people and all that. So I'm always leery about people behind me. I'm leery about people in front of me and people next to me. So I'm definitely leery about people behind me. I'm always looking behind me. And like you, I'm always looking for exits and where the exits are because I want to be
Yep.
safe at the end of the day. People are crazy out here.
Yeah.
And you got all these
So it's
wild
about
gun laws. You understand? So what you saying ain't, listen, I'm the same way, Juan. I'm the exact same way. I'm looking for exits. I'm looking behind me because you don't know what people got on them nowadays. Everybody seem like they have a gun on them nowadays, and anybody could just open fire on you just randomly because that's the world we live in now. So yeah,
man.
there's nothing funny about looking behind
Speaking
you
of
and
guns,
looking for exits. Hell
speaking
no.
of guns, here in North Carolina, man, they're gonna pass the bill for to abolish carrying concealed, where you're allowed to just carry without having a permit. So I was like, I don't know about that one. And then you have a bunch of 18-year-olds walking around with guns. That's even worse.
Yeah, listen, in Georgia where I'm at, it's already like that here. You don't even have to have a license to carry a gun concealed anymore. You could just carry a gun now, openly.
Yep. Because I know there's that law where you stand your ground in the South, but there's several of the laws that that are in place that people don't know about. Like I forgot the name of it, but if somebody robbed you or came into your property and did some harm to you or whatever, like you can actually chase them down and do what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
It's like
you sure
it's
can.
a lot of crazy laws, man.
Yeah, listen, I've always been a advocate for gun control. Like, I understand what guns do to people. And I don't think in anybody's right mind that an 18-year-old should be allowed. If you can't smoke at 18 and you can't have a drink at 18, why on earth should you be able to have a gun at 18?
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that part. But I'm 50-50 on it. Like, I think everybody should have the right to own a weapon. But the age limit is that gap for me.
Listen, my thing is, if you can't smoke, you can't drive, and you can't drink, there's no reason why you should be able to own a gun.
Hell, they do more security for porn websites. Can
we at least be 21?
21
yeah, can we
is
at least
good.
be 21?
Yep.
At least be 21. Like, there's no reason why teenagers should have access to a firearm. You're still a teenager at 18. And my thing is, if you're going to change that law, you got to change the drafting laws too. Like, you shouldn't be able to draft draft an 18-year-old into the army. I'm against that. You should be at least 21. You shouldn't be able to, because you putting kids in the line of fire. They're still kids. You shouldn't be a kid in the army.
Well, that's what with the
Know what I'm
military.
saying?
That's what they take them in young, so that way they can break them and like put that switch on them.
Right. I'm just saying, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with 18-year-olds being in the military. I don't agree with teenagers, period, being in the military. You should be 21 to be eligible to get drafted or to enlist. 21. That 18, having kids in the military, I don't agree with it.
Well, it's one of those things where like they have the option too to enlist if they want to. Like other countries, like where you have to have a mandatory, like so many years in the military. Like it's at least we have the option here.
Right. I just don't agree with the whole 18 and being able to enlist stuff. I just don't agree with it. Now,
Well, I mean, it goes back to like the breaking them in. Like we say jump, you say how high.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it, but I just to coincide with my gun stance. You understand what I'm saying? I have to have that stance too because I'm not a hypocrite. So if you could be in the army at 18 and own a gun at 18, I don't think it makes sense.
See your point of view.
So I don't think you should be in the army at 18. If I don't feel like you should own a gun at 18, then you shouldn't be in the army at 18 either. That's just my stance, my personal stance.
See your point of view. Yeah, that's a good point of view. I mean, I understand that. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't think a lot of the laws that are being passed now, I don't think there's much thought process going into it anymore. I think they just kind of like slap whatever, just like both sides of the aisle, just to see what gets taken down so the other one can react to it.
Yeah, I just think, and then, you got a whole patchwork of laws. You understand what I'm saying? Like in my state, you could buy a gun or a rifle and it don't matter. They give you a background check or whatever, but the background check is really weak. And you know what I mean? Like they don't really care. Yeah. They just want to sell that gun. Where I'm from in New York City, ain't no way you can't even buy a gun in New York City.
Yeah, I know New York is a strict gun laws. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's
like
period. You can't even
Mexico. You can't even own a gun. I know in where I'm from, you can't have a weapon. So I mean, people have weapons, but like I know certain major cities like there's no gun law. No gun law cities in the major cities. But
I mean, think about. I remember I said this the chaotic a couple of a year ago. I asked them. I was like, "Look, you for the gun laws and all that stuff? Would you be safe walking through Times Square with 20,000 people in the middle of Times Square and all of them are armed? Would you be safe walking in that environment? You understand what I'm saying? With 20 other armed people and open carry I'm talking about now, like how they have it in the South. Would you be comfortable walking through Times Square in an open carry environment with 20,000 people just walking the streets and everybody has a gun on them? Would you be comfortable in that?
Not
you
me.
Understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't. Even if I had a gun on me, I still wouldn't be comfortable in that environment. You know why I wouldn't be comfortable? Because how about somebody gun accidentally go off?
Yep.
If somebody gun accidentally go off, that's gonna lead to a bloodbath. You understand what I'm saying? Because once one go off, everybody gonna pull their stuff out and just start randomly firing because they don't know where the shot came from, right? And now you're just gonna have people just arbitrarily shooting at people.
See, we have weapons. The only time I really carry mine is whenever we go out of state to go do a job, like out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And we have a big project or something and we're staying out there for days. That's the only time we carry one. Like when I go to the mall and take my kids somewhere, it's usually in and out, and then that's pretty much it. I don't carry it there. I carry it in my truck though. I don't carry it into the store or like into places where there's like a hospital or something like that. I don't do that. Like my brother, he carries his because he has a carry conceal. And then he carries his inside, but it's not like shown or anything. So just because of like some of these malls and stuff like that, where like some of these kids are just getting out of hand with their parents just drop them off. And I know last time we went out to Georgia out in Griffin, there was like one of those old malls, and there was like, I mean, I can't get in trouble now. They don't know who I am, but so there was teenagers out there acting up and everything, acting like they were gonna attack us. I took my belt off. I was starting to whip them, BD. I was like, there's no cameras around.
Right.
I looked around to see if there was any cameras. I was just whooping their asses. And then like one of them was like, man, he's crazy. I was like, you need to get up out of here. So it was one of those things
Right.
where I know I can be in control. I have in control of my emotions and everything, and I don't let my heart
Yeah.
rate go up. So it's one of those things, but not everybody can do that. Everybody is they jump to their first thought of action.
Right. And see, that's the problem with young people and owning firearms, because young people aren't thinking logically. They feel like they have a gun, so now they feel like they tough. You understand what I'm saying? Like they invincible, and they feel like they could just pull out and just, use that weapon with no consequence. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I have an issue with young teenagers having guns. Like teenagers shouldn't be able to have guns.
Everything starts at home, because I know the thought process with my brother and I when we were about to do something dumb or get out of hand. We always had that thought in the back of our head, like, man, when Dad finds out, he's gonna get home and put a boot in our ass or belt the ass. It's gonna be one of them, and that's been he'll make us do some heavy work and then he'll whoop us.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of them. Like me, I own guns, you know what I mean? I got 3 guns in the crib right now. You understand what I'm saying? And I carry mine when I'm going somewhere I don't know nothing about. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm going somewhere I ain't never been before, or I know I'm going to be in a neighborhood where I ain't never been, I'm going to have my thing on me. But if I'm just out and about in my city, I don't need to carry my stuff in my city. I know my city. You understand what I'm saying? And if something happened, just something happened. But I'm not, you know what I mean? I believe in karma. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes when you do stuff, when you carrying stuff, you have stuff happen, you know what I mean? Because you're carrying stuff that you shouldn't be carrying. You know what I mean? So it depends.
Yeah, I agree.
Each his own.
Like, there's no need to carry a gun into a kid's birthday party.
Right, that part. Stuff like that. Like if I'm taking my kid to a birthday party, there's no reason for me to have my gun on me.
Yeah.
If I'm going to a birthday party. You understand what I'm saying?
And in a lot of the places where like my kids go anyway, like the police officers at their school, they're really cool. Like I've seen them in action when like other parents act up, and like they'll give them one warning and that's it. I know there was one instance last year where one guy wasn't supposed to be picking up his kid. He had no right to pick up the kid. And then they quickly took care of that. They put him on top of the patrol car, handcuffed him, and took him out like it was trash. I was like, there we go. Got him up out of there real quick.
And I'm with you. I understand some people are more comfortable with carrying their guns where they could carry them than others. You know what I mean? But just like you have a Second Amendment right to own a firearm, you also, it's an unwritten rule, but you also had that same right not to. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And you have to respect the people that don't want to be gun owners.
Right.
Not everybody wants to be a gun owner. Not everybody wants to carry around a gun. Not everybody feel comfortable with that. And you have to respect their rights too.
And I think that has a lot to do with the newer generation. Like I think we grew up in the 90s. We're 80s babies and we grew up in the 90s. So it's like either we scrapped, you got your teeth dented in, you practice, you come back and you get your rematch. Yeah, so it was different.
Like, with our hands. We weren't shooting each other.
Yep, and that's usually
we weren't shooting each other. We were fighting.
Even though we had like a lot of the gangster rap, like there was like no shooting. That was like between like on the West Coast when it was like gangland, and then like, but nothing like that on the East Coast. Everything on the East Coast
on the East Coast it wasn't like that at all. Like
it was like
if a motherfucker was gonna rob you, they'd rob you with the gun, but they wasn't trying to kill you. They would just stick you up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And they wasn't trying to kill you. They were just trying to scare you to get your shit.
Yep.
But they wasn't trying to shoot you. They niggas wasn't trying to catch bodies back in the days where now a motherfucker's just pulling out and shooting you. And they not talking, they not asking, they not even trying to rob you. They just pulling out and letting loose. You understand what I'm saying? It's a whole different vibe now. Like you got to be really careful.
Yeah, man. It is it's this era, man. This era is such a social media influential filled era, man, that it persuades a lot of these young kids, like, and the women too, like with the you know what I really don't like, BD, is these social media and like these beauty things that push Like I don't, cause my most of my female family members, they're all either dark brown or damn near like black, right? So I hate it when they
Right.
put on makeup. It's like, why do you need to put on makeup like you're hiding that skin? Now, like when they take off the makeup after years, it's like it like light skinned up and faded away. So now they look like a damn Dalmatian.
Right.
So it's like, I mean,
I
I
can
don't.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very careful
I've
with my
never been
daughters
into the whole
whenever like they
makeup
look at
thing
social
either.
media. So I'm very aware of what they
Yeah,
watch.
like
I
I
don't
don't
want them
even
to
allow,
be influenced.
I don't even allow my daughter, I got a child lock on my shit. Like she can only
Yeah.
watch certain channels and all that. You're not gonna get me and indoctrinate my kid with some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm really
Mhm.
because the online world is a very dangerous world. YouTube
Even
is
if
a very
even if it
dangerous
looks like
thing,
kids.
especially for kids.
Yep. Because I know with Roblox they're getting sued because they don't. It's supposed to be a kids thing, but then so many adults are on there, and they
Right.
don't gear it towards kids where they protect the kids online. So they're getting their
No,
butts.
I listen. My daughter wanted to play Roblox last year, and I told her no. And not because I don't want her to play Roblox. You understand what I'm saying? It's just there's too many adults on there playing
Yep.
Roblox, and you
Yep.
have
Even
adults
like a lot of
cosplaying as
the
children.
popular channels they follow on Roblox, they're all like grown people. It's
Yeah, they're grown
where are the
folks.
kids?
Yeah, they're grown folks cosplaying as children. You understand what I'm saying? Like for starters, why are you 40 years old playing Roblox in the first place? Like,
Yeah.
where the fuck? You understand what I'm saying? Like all these
Yeah.
games you got out here, all these adult games you got out here, why are you 30, 40 years old playing Roblox and Minecraft
Yep. Yep.
at 30 and 40? Like, what the
Yep.
hell are you doing?
They know
You
exactly
understand
what
what I'm
they're doing.
saying? Like, to me, that don't make no
Like the little
sense.
kids is their audience, but they know what they're doing, but at the same time, it's like guys, like even like with grown women, like with that a grown woman that my kids follow, even that I don't like. But I mean,
Right.
there's some that I know they've been around for a long time. It's like okay, they're clean, they have a good clean record and all that, but you just got to keep an eye on it still anyway, because I don't like when they show a lot of material like toys and this and that. Then they get used to that.
Close the door, mom. Yeah, I don't like it either. Like I keep my kid away from all that stuff. At least I try my best to keep her away from all that YouTube indoctrination and all that stuff because the YouTube stuff is dangerous. It's dangerous to the children because you got a lot of adults out here that are cosplaying as kids, playing kid games. Like again, I don't see why you 40 years old playing Roblox and Minecraft. Like to me, when you got all this Call of Duty out here, play that. Play Madden. You understand what I'm saying? Like there are plenty of adult games out here. Why are you playing these little kid games that are designed for little kids? Like it doesn't make sense to me at all.
I mean,
Like
they're
I
the
don't
easiest
understand.
to influence. Like they're the easiest to influence, and then usually kids they influence their parents. Like into crying, begging, and all this and that. Like for
Right.
whatever they're promoting on there. Like especially with Roblox, dude. Roblox, this whole Robux thing, digital money. Like oh man, that right there, I cut that out. Like it just got out of hand. I was like, nah,
Yeah,
no
I
more.
cut it.
Even if they do like
Yeah,
their
I
chores
cut
and
it
like
out
that, I
too.
still don't get it for them.
Yeah, I don't do the Roblox thing. I have a few. Like that's the one thing my daughter asked me for it last year. I was like, nope, it's too dangerous. And she never asked me for it again because she already know where I stand.
Yeah.
And as far as the Minecraft stuff, I let her play the Minecraft, but she can only play it on the Xbox. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? Where I
Yep.
can actually watch her. You understand what I'm
Yep.
saying? You can't play it on you can't play it on your phone, you can't play it on your tablet because I don't know who's gonna be on you. At
Yep.
least on the Xbox, I can monitor you.
Yep.
If you
See,
want a console, I can monitor you.
I downloaded this app called Bark. It's like a 1 year subscription. It's like I think it was like $60 for the entire year. And like
Right.
my older one, the 13-year-old, I have her because she goes to soccer practice, boxing practice, and all this other stuff that she has going on through the year. So whenever she's with her mom, I keep track of everything. Like literally whatever she's texting to her friends, who she's called. Like it's literally mirroring the phone, whatever she does, and she knows.
Right.
So like right now, there's a trust and everything. She tells me everything, especially with your little girls. You want as a father, you want your little girls to tell you everything because
Yeah, that part.
Yeah.
That part. You want them,
Yeah.
you have to have them to be comfortable to tell you stuff that might
Yeah.
not be comfortable for you to listen to. You
Yep.
understand what I'm saying? But you have to have that openness with them. Like my daughter tell me everything.
Yep.
Like,
Same thing with mine. Yep.
like I'm her dad, but I want to be her best friend too. You understand what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, but you gotta like straddle that line, knowing when to be firm and when to be dad,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And knowing when to be, that friend, because
Yep.
at least with my kid, I gotta straddle that line because sometimes she blurs the line and I have to snap
Yeah.
her back like I'm not your
Yeah.
friend, I'm still your dad. But I want
Yeah.
you to talk to me like I'm your friend. You understand
Yeah,
what I'm
when they
saying?
get
I
out
want
of
you to have
hand,
that.
like I let them know. Like my thing with my
Right.
girls is it's like, look, you can get mad, you can get emotional. It doesn't matter. You can show your emotions. It's like it matters what you say and do. So that's one of those things.
Right.
I'm allowing my girls to be the person they're going to grow into be, and I'm going to support them fully, whatever they decide to do. I just needed them to know the consequences of like their actions and their words that they do based off their emotion that day or whatever it may be. So they need to know the consequences of life. And so that way when they
Oh
go
yeah.
into the real
Like,
world, they know.
yeah, because in the real world, people aren't gonna like you.
Yep.
Like that's just the reality. Everybody, like I try to tell my daughter this all the time, everybody is not gonna be nice to you. You're gonna have people that are gonna be mean to you just for the sake of being mean to you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's not gonna be nice to you. So you have to understand that the
Yep.
world we live in now, everybody's not a saint. Everybody do not have your best interests in mind. Everybody is not going to look out for you. People are going to try to take advantage of you. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's how people are. People are going to try to take advantage of you if they see an opportunity to take advantage of you. People
If
have
you
no
let them,
problem trying to
you
take
let them, that's
advantage
it.
of the
You
weak.
let them, you gotta stand firm. Yep.
Yeah, so you gotta know when to say when, and you know what I mean. You gotta let your dad know these things. You know what I'm saying? Because only me and your mom got your best interests at mine. Don't nobody else got your best interests at mine. Everybody else is trying to
Nobody
take
can have their
advantage of
back
you.
like the parents. Yep, I agree, BD.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna have your back like how I'm gonna have your back. Ain't nobody gonna lay it down like how I'm gonna lay it down. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just what it is.
Hey
All
BD,
right,
let
but
me
speaking of
let
my
you go.
kid, she just got up.
I got this quick date I gotta get on right now before she gets angry at me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I left my email in the back chat though.
I got it. Yep, I'll send you something tonight, and then
All right.
we'll plan it out, dude. But everything is like I see. What are your views at? Like 30 right now? I think you have 30 views.
Oh, okay. That's decent, I guess. For
No,
me
that's pretty
being
good.
on 2.5 hours.
It jumped up from like
I'm
4 or
trying
5
one
to
like
like
I said.
30 something.
Yeah, which is pretty good. I think
We'll
so.
get
But
it up.
like I was trying to explain to Skywalker and Art, you understand what I'm saying? I can't do this every day. So like how y'all grew so quickly, so fast, because y'all were able to dedicate all of y'all time to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Like
Yep, I
I
agree.
can't dedicate all of my time. You understand what I'm saying? I only really have Sundays where I could come on here and talk about whatever I want to talk about. Like during the week, all I could really do is just make videos on certain topics or stuff that I find interesting. You understand what I'm saying? But the whole streaming thing, I can't do that during the week. I got a job to go to. I got a daughter to deal with when I get here at the work. You understand what I'm saying? There's just not enough hours in the day for me to do all that. But
Figure
again,
all that
I'll
out.
let you go on because I gotta go myself. Thank you
Cool.
everyone for coming and supporting and being in the chat. I appreciate all of y'all who came to say hi and typed in the chat and whatever the case may be. Thank you again. This your boy Big Dog Sports, with sports and politics collide, and I'm gonna holla at y'all on the re-up. All right, later, y'all.